Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 748 for Tuesday, the 9th of September 2025. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby 360G, and joining me today is...
Power to the people, it's Mr. Peebs.
I haven't thought of anything interesting to say, it's just Nick.
And Darren will be joining us probably in around 5 to 10 minutes. We're starting a little bit early, but it's all good. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Because I can get my things out of the way straight away in the show. Saying a big thank you, first of all, to the Patreons. Hope you're all doing well out there in Patreon listener land. So a big thank you to James Walker, Alpa Aiden, Matthew Crumpton, Gavin Britchford, Zachalyptic, Krusty Boy, Danny Brooks, James Daly, James Bartlett, Robin Farhi, Ben Ansell, Eric DeHorn, Leon, Anthony Johnson, Daz Poz, Craig Wood, Matthew Kelly, Paul Hickin, Jason Adams, Ryan O'Kane, John Levitt, Sean, John Smith, Brian, Philip Thompson, and of course, Wes. Thank you very much, everybody out there. And also a very big thank you to those of you who are also boosting the server, the Discord server. So a big shout out and a big thank you to Darkest Frost, Off the Pace, and Brooksy79. Thank you very much. Because of all of you guys, we're getting higher audio quality on the Discord for our chats and obviously podcast recording, which is fantastic, and the cool little other features in Discord like the shiny letters on your names. It's all thanks to you guys. So that's all good. Thank you very much. Right, so let's get into it. Obviously, we've got Peebs this week. Nick's here, which is awesome, and Darren should be joining us shortly, which is awesome. Peebs has decided to make an appearance because he's been gaming a lot, apparently, which is fantastic. Some new games, some old games, some moaning, I think, is going to be happening as well. So why don't we start with you, Peebs? We haven't spoken to you for a little while. What's been happening in Peebs' world, apart from getting pissed and gaming?
Well, not a lot of getting pissed, actually, because I haven't been out for a couple of weeks because we're going to Amsterdam in a couple of weeks, so I've been saving my pennies for that.
Lovely.
Hash cakes and Heineken, I think you get in Amsterdam. It's Dutch. But, I've been doing a bit of gaming. I've been going I sent the missus to CEX yesterday to trade some games in. She loved that. She hates going in there. She says it's always full of stinky people.
That's true.
I as you know, the other week I said was going to get Gears of War. So I've completed that with the Sly Almond. We completed that on Insane co-op, so we got pretty much all the trophies.
Trophies? You such a traitor!
Yeah, it's all about the trophies now, mate. Although I've actually managed to get to the number 2 on the leaderboard on the Xbox achievement list without even switching my Xbox on.
Now, this is a bit naughty. This is double dipping at the easiest, because when you play on the PlayStation, obviously you have to log in with your Xbox account, so it unlocks your Chivos for playing on the PlayStation 5, which is very naughty. Well,
I didn't even know this until Sly mentioned it, and then I haven't switched my Xbox on for a while, but I've still got the app, and I went on the app, and there it is. I looked on my achievement list, and I'd unlocked flipping 70% of the achievements on Xbox without even switching my Xbox on. So, and I think it does the same with Forza Horizon as well.
It does, but also it shows you online gaming, like playing that game live on your Xbox friends, which is very strange.
That is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously someone sends you a party invite or something like that, you're not going to get it. So
no,
it's very odd.
No. Yeah, it's cool though. But so obviously that was on Game Pass, wasn't it, on the Xbox? But I think it's going for about $39.99. But I picked it up from Very, the website Very, which is the old catalogue thing. But you can still buy stuff on there.
I'll just say, Peebs, if people don't know, if you've got the Ultimate Edition, the remaster they did about 10 years ago on Xbox One, they give it to you, the upgrade for free, and they'll send you a code through your messages on Xbox. So if anyone's got it digitally, have a look in there before they buy it.
Oh, right, I didn't know that. But I bought it from Very. I think it was on offer. I got it for £35. Completed it within well, I've had it 2 weeks, 10 days. I did try playing the multiplayer, but that multiplayer is just how I remember it, rock hard. Everyone just rolling around, shotgunning, all over TikTok and Instagram. It's all the Xbox boys taking the piss with all the new PlayStation boys coming over and just getting rinsed in multiplayer. Here come all the new PlayStation cannon fodder for all the Pro Gears players, but it is rock hard. And I thought, you know what? I've completed the campaign in co-op. I've done it on Insane. I'm not really going to play any more multiplayer, so let's trade it in. So CEX yesterday, got 25 quid for it. So it's cost me a tenner, basically, to play it and complete it. So
it's not too bad.
I traded in an Atom Fall, because I had that on disc and I'd platinumed that, and I'm not really too bothered about the DLC. I did quite like the game, but not enough for me to drop a load of money on the DLC. I don't really know how much the DLC is going for, but I've not even really looked at it. But I platinumed it, so I didn't really want to go back to it. So I traded that in. I think I got 20 odd quid for that, and then I traded in EA 25 because the new one comes out in a couple of weeks. So I thought, well, I'm not going to be playing that one anymore. Couple of other bits and bobs, and I also traded my Elite controller from, which I've had a good couple of years now. But if you remember, I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast, my shoulder button went on it a while back. Yeah, this is when I was fully invested back on the Xbox. And I think it was about 13, 14 months and the shoulder button went. And I looked into my warranty, and it was obviously 12-month warranty. So I contacted Xbox, and they wouldn't help me out. So that's just been sat in the corner gathering dust. And I thought, you know what, I'll just see if they'll take it. And they did, which was surprising.
Brilliant.
Because obviously they test them, don't they? Because they said, they sent my missus away to, we've got to test it for half an hour, and went back. And half expected them to say, oh, sorry, it's not working properly. Well, fair enough, it was worth a try. But no, they give me 60 quid.
What was it doing? Was the button not working, or was it just a bit squeaky and clicky?
It was, well, last time I was playing, to be fair, when I got it back out to trade, I didn't set it all up and check it. But when I last used it, the reason why I stopped playing with it was because the shoulder button it wasn't completely naffed, but it was intermittent. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it wouldn't. And when I Googled it and went on YouTube, it was a common problem. So I remember at the time, Webby, you telling me there was YouTube tutorials about people taking them apart, and you can actually fix it.
Yeah.
And I did do that, but
you do have people that repair them, like they know what they're doing, and will probably just have thought, I'll quickly repair that. It takes like 2 minutes, 3 minutes to do.
Well, yeah, exactly. They might have done that, because I don't know, because obviously my miss was doing it, but they might have seen that it wasn't working that great and just fixed it anyway. And thought, they'll just give me the money. But I was happy either way, because it's just been sat there for 18 months doing nothing. So 60 quid. So I got about 150 quid altogether, and so I bought Stellar Blade, which I've been wanting for a while, and then I've just left the rest on credit at the minute, because the plan is to pick up Metal Gear and this Cronos game when they've dropped a little bit, when people have started completing them and trading them in. Because there is a few on CEX at the minute, but not many. Not in Peterborough anyway, but you can buy them online and have them delivered. But obviously, over the coming weeks, when people have completed them, they'll probably start trading them in. The price will drop a bit, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because that Cronos is on CEX for $48.99. Well, you can buy it for $49.99, so it seems pointless buying a second hand for a quid cheaper.
For like 43 quid or something.
Oh, have you?
Check hit.co.uk. Like, they generally have really good prices. And they have actually now got a rewards program where, like, when you spend money with them, you get points that you can use for, like, money off vouchers and, like, free premium delivery and stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll have to check them out then.
It used to be called base.com, I think.
Yeah, I remember correct, Base. Yeah, I remember Base. You remember the old good days of play.com?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, when they fucked me over on my console order. I can't remember what console it was now. It might have been 360.
It was the 360. You talked about it the other week.
Yeah, it was a 360. Yeah, wankers.
Yeah, but Gears I didn't really didn't notice too much of a. It's been polished up and that, but I don't remember. I don't think it looks any majorly better than what it did back in the day.
Well, I was talked about this last week.
Rose tinted glasses, mate. I think like it's certain games that get remasters kind of look like you remember them in your mind, but then when you actually go back to them, you're like, oh.
Well, I talked about this last week because I played obviously a little bit of this new version, only not a lot, but I only played the Ultimate Edition, which was the first remaster about 18 months ago with Sly. And I put this on, I was like, God, it doesn't look any different to me. And I actually watched a few comparison videos. And from the 360 version to this, there's obviously quite a bit of difference. But between the last remaster, the Ultimate Edition, and this, there's it looks pretty much the same. There's very, very small differences.
Yeah. I think maybe this came out the old one 2015.
Yeah.
But it also got an Xbox One X patch a few years later when the One X came out.
Right.
So that got bumped up to 4K 60 frames per second as well. So this is like fourth time this has been remastered now, sort of.
Yeah, well I played the Ultimate on PC anyway, so
yeah.
As I say, like to me, I'm like, well, the only reason they've done this is obviously because of they put it on the PlayStation, but I don't think it looks much different at all. You have to really look to see the difference between the Ultimate Edition and this version, in my opinion. And you can look at videos and judge for yourself.
Yeah, I suppose, like you say, it's more for people on the PlayStation who've never even played it. You know, it's like playing a new game for them.
Yeah,
but obviously, I bought it on my PlayStation, but I'd have played them all on the Xbox anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's a good single player campaign. With the Gears, I've always enjoyed the Gears, but like I said, the multiplayer is just flipping.
I've never liked the multiplayer. I've always liked the Horde mode. We've always had fun on that back in the day, but
yeah, I don't know why they've not ever done. You know, maybe they'll bring out Gears 2. Was it Gears 2 or 3 that had the Horde?
2 that started with the Horde, and then the third one had all of the requisition points that you could spend on defences and actual barricades.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah, it's a good game of Knights on that back in the day, mate. Hopefully they might do something with one of them, seeing, you know, because the PlayStation boys have not had a go on them, so hopefully.
Nice. Thank you, Peebs. Big hello to Darren. Hello, Darren. Hope you're doing well.
Didn't realise you'd started early.
That's all right, mate. I did your introduction for you, so it's all good. Also, big hello to Clarky79 and Mr. Jelly listening live on Twitch and have said hello in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Nick, nice to have you.
It was nice to be halved, I think.
Have you been playing much this week? I've noticed you've been actually back to streaming this week, which has been nice to see.
Yeah, I accidentally stopped for 2 months because I was really busy and wasn't allowed to. Well, I was on holiday for a fortnight and then I was sick and lost my voice a bit. And it's just like, I'm going to stream, and then something happens and it's just like, oh. And then I always get that time where, even though I did it yesterday morning and today, I was like, OBS has done all this updates. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. So then you spend an hour fixing all your settings and all OBS and everything so your stream works. And by then you think, I can't be bothered to stream now.
Yeah, mine's been due an update for the last couple of months, and I just say, nah. I just say no every time. I can't be bothered.
Yeah, well, I had a bit of a mix around. I've took my, I don't know why I ever bought it, really. A mate sold it to me. I've never used it properly. I had a Go XLR Mini. Even though I haven't got, like, an XLR mic, I've just got a Blue Yeti mic. So all I ever used the whole Go XLR thing for was just to turn the volume up and down, but I've got one of those on the Blue Yeti mic. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So got rid of that, so I'm just probably sell that on like eBay or Facebook Marketplace or something, because, yeah. But yeah, so game I've been streaming. I've had it since launch day, but I only started it yesterday. So was it Metal Gear Solid? Is it called Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta or
It's
just
called Delta?
Just Delta. I think they did it to stop confusing people.
Yeah, so like I said, I've never played the original, even though I've got it on PS2 and the HD collection, because last year, I think just before they announced this, I was playing 2 HD on 360, and I was going to go on to 3, and I thought, I've got like a year or two to play the original before this comes out, and I just never got round to it, and I thought, well, I might as well play the remake, and I think this is the first like new game I've bought myself in about 2 years. So unless someone's bought me one for like a birthday present or a Christmas present, yeah, this is the first time I've actually bought myself.
Hang on a minute. What about all those VR games you bought yourself?
Digital don't count, mate.
Oh, come on.
Digital don't count, and I've not paid full price for a digital game. I've added them to my wish list, and I buy them when there's a sale on.
Wait for a sale.
Because actually, to be fair, MetaQuest store, they are really good for sales. There's always like loads of times they've got sales on, like compared to the others. I mean, you just like add something to your wish list, don't you? And hardly ever, because you get an email, something on your wish list is on sale, but it doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I played this for about 4 or 5 hours over the last 2 days, and I'm playing on quality 4K 30 frames per second mode, because even though they've had a few patches apparently on the consoles, and especially the PS5 Pro, for some reason the frame rate's like really bad and all over the place. But
I think there's no performance or graphics setting. It's just like whatever it decided.
Yeah, and apparently, like the PS5 Pro is the worst version. Like it drops down to like 720p and like 32 frames per second. You're like,
I think Series S is actually the worst version.
Oh, yeah, that probably would be the worst. But I don't think you have. I think you can only play that in like 1080p 30, though, if you know what I mean. So it doesn't, yeah. But I mean, I've been streaming this like for 2 or 3 hours yesterday and again today. My mate who played it on PS5, he said it looks a lot better than what he played on his PS5. Like even like the cutscenes and stuff weren't as juddery. But I think they've had 3 patches in the last week or 2 since this has been out. So I think all the patch notes. I think there was one yesterday, and it said like frame rate improvements and things like that. So.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, it'd be great. They won't report that it's fixed, will they? Like Digital Foundry and people that say it's broken.
No, but it's like I said to Webby, the thing that kind of pisses me off with it is it now means that if you dig your machine out of the loft in, say, like 15, 20 years, if you can't actually update that game and you're playing the bog standard pathetic version that they put on the disc, you're fucked.
You just assume by then
version of the game.
You just assume by then piracy and emulation has just gone through to a whole nother level, and you'll just emulate it through your TV, and you'll be playing it in 18K and 400 frames per second or whatever.
Oh, there'll be another remaster, mate. It'll be the remaster of the remaster of the remaster by then.
No, this is the first remaster. We had a HD remake and then a remaster. So I had this with a guy in the chat today. He was saying, like, what is this got a remake? It doesn't look any different. I was like, it does look a lot different.
They've completely overhauled the graphics on this. I think it looks stunning, because I mentioned last week I've been playing. I actually finished it this week, and I loved it. So I actually think it's the first time I've ever played it, because I don't have a memory of playing this.
It came out quite late on PS2. Sorry, I think it came out like 2004, 2005. Because I remember Metal Gear Solid, and even back then they would come out in Japan and America, and we sometimes had to wait 6 months or to a year. So maybe it came out when you had either just got a 360 or were getting one. It just got
Could have been, mate, just lost in translation somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's within a year. But I've like I said, I played it for about 4 or 5 hours. I don't want you to spoil it because I know you said you'd finished it.
Yeah,
but I've just fought the bee boss who's got all hornets, which is weird as which I mean, this game is so batshit insane and camp as fuck, isn't it?
But it's great. But what I don't understand, like, obviously every boss in the game is very unique and strange, without spoiling it. But
they always have been, like we said before. Like each one, even in the first Metal Gear, all the boss battles were kind of different.
Yes, yeah. The one that sticks out for me in the original Metal Gear Solid is Psycho Mantis. And how I figured out to change my controller to port 2, I have no fucking clue. But I mean,
the Sniper Wolf one was a bit similar to the one in this with the sniper as well, to a degree.
Yeah, but the old man sniper in this is weird because his eyeball bulges out of his head and he's...
that's
weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And I did I'm trying to remember because some of the names are weird because there's quite a lot of snakes in the game or in the Metal Gear Solid series. There's like 4 different snakes and they're all different. I'm like, so which one is... Because this is... Even though this is Metal Gear Solid 3, I think this is the prequel, so it's the earliest in the timeline of all the games.
Yeah. So your big boss in this...
Yeah, who I played in 5, which is still my favourite one.
Yeah, the Metal Gear games, like, I'm even now very confused on the whole storyline because I think there's like some cloning involved or something. So you actually, even though you're playing as Snake in all the games, you're not actually playing the same dude every time. It's a clone of him or something. I think I'm not quite sure, and it's just like
I know that obviously the Snake from Metal Gear 1 and the one from number 2, they're the same.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
The same guy, but 4 has a different one as well, I believe.
Yeah, it's very confusing. But like I said, I've played it for about 4 or 5 hours. I didn't think it was great. Like I was streaming it, and then the girlfriend, just pop in to see how you're doing. Where the woman turns up, and then she just like unzips her top.
Eva,
and she's just like, oh, no wonder you wanted this game, pervert. I was like, I didn't know it was going to happen. I've never played this game before. And I'm just like, okay. But then obviously later on, in 5 with Quiet, I mean, it just takes it to a whole new level. She's just in like the little black bikini thong like throughout the whole game,
which is fantastic.
Strangely enough, have you met someone else from Metal Gear 5 in this yet?
I can't remember who was in 5 compared to this one. Just say who it is because I'm familiar with all the characters. Even
general.
I don't know. It's a possible. I mean, I've got
General Volgin.
Oh yes,
I think so. Yeah. There's a few guys like that. Is that the guy with the electricity coming through him, or is that?
He's in 5.
Yeah, he was in this because that's got a girl like That's weird because he calls the woman who's defected like boss. I thought your name was Big Boss, but now she's the boss. And there's another woman turned up, and she's gone off, and I'm like, it's getting a bit confused. I mean, these games are quite confusing.
Yeah, but it all does become clear later on why you get the name.
Well, yeah, because I've killed her, so then I'm the boss. Well, I assume you kill her, but it was weird. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. It does still play like an old game, though. I do still sometimes feel like I'm playing a 360 game. It's like you go through like the section of the level, and then the game goes to like a movie, with the black bars coming at the top, at the bottom, and then you get a little loading screen. I'm like, this area is not that big, and I'm getting a loading screen, and it's just a bit, it's weird that you've got loading screens. Like, it doesn't take that long once you go in and out. It's not like you wait 30 seconds to a minute like I assume you would have done on PS2 and stuff like that. It's just, if they were going to remake it, I would think there wouldn't be no loading times at all.
But they've kept it as original as possible.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
Loading times, is the song in it, Webby? I imagine it should be.
There is a song in
Snake
it.
Eater.
The famous song Snake Eater.
Yeah,
well,
Yeah.
my mate actually had the
Which
woman who
used to be
recorded that.
disguising loading, I think. The ladders used to be used to disguise loading.
Okay. Well, let me just interject. Right, there is a section in the game where you're climbing a ladder, and then the song
That's quite
kicks
famous. I'm aware of that.
in, and then I was like, why is this climbing the ladder taking so fucking long? And it literally takes the length of the song to climb this fucking ladder. And like partway through, I was thinking, am I going the right way here? I'm not really sure. I just kept on going and going. I just kept on like I was going forever.
Yeah, I'm aware because I've seen someone stream this years ago, and I'll forget most of it. But my mate Liquid, that's why his name's Liquid in when he Twitch streams, because he loves all Metal Gear Solid. And he was playing the game, and they actually got the woman who recorded Snake Eater about 2 or 3 days before, got her to re-record it.
All right.
Yeah, or 2 or 3 weeks before, and she actually came into his stream, so it is a re-recording of the original.
Oh, right, okay.
Which because when you start the game, it plays it.
Yeah, because it feels like a James Bond movie when it's playing. It's like, oh, hang on a minute. Yeah.
Hopefully, more companies will actually learn now to keep hold of like voice recordings and stuff. So if they do remasters and remakes and stuff in the future for games, they've still got access to the original audio that they can use. For character dialogue and stuff like that. But obviously the other thing that I saw going around online was, I don't know, in the original game you had like the gravure models that were on like posters in lockers and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, they've got some of those back.
Yeah, they went around and got all the original models that actually did them to post new photographs of what they look like now.
I think they've got both, and also they've got rid of some of the. I don't know if they had Playboy magazines or something in the game. I don't know if that was but they've actually got
swimsuit models and stuff.
Yeah, well, they've actually got covers of video game magazines when they reviewed this game. So they've got like Game Informer and things like that, and it's actually the cover of the when they reviewed it, the magazine. Yeah. So they've replaced them out, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, obviously, the main problem is with the game is me. I'm just not very stealthy. I'm not very stealthy in real life. I'm not very stealthy in games. I mean, like the first bit, I'm like running around trying to stab someone because I couldn't work out how to equip the gun. Which, well, I'll try to remember. Oh, what did I do on the PS2 version? And I was like, hold the D-pad, because it's one of those where you press the D-pad, it does one thing, and then you hold the D-pad and it brings up a menu type thing.
Yeah, and you can cycle through it. But also what I forgot at one point, because I got stuck on a boss, I'm not going to say the boss battle, and I didn't know, and I just kept on getting killed, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I looked online, because obviously I die a couple of times, I'm looking online for how to fucking do this thing, and it was like, you need to get changed and re-equip your stuff from your backpack. And I was like, oh, yeah.
That's not the boss fight with the river, is it?
No.
Or is that a different
one?
No,
a different one. But there's a point in the game where you disguise yourself, and then there's a boss fight. But it's a bit janky, really, because within the fight, you need to pause it, go into your backpack and get changed again and re-equip all your stuff, like onto the fast menu. Because I didn't have any weapons or anything, because you don't in this part of the game where you've just disguised yourself. So I was like, oh, okay, well that's a bit odd, because I was just trying to punch him.
Yeah, the other thing is they actually kept one of the Easter eggs from the original game in the remake. So at the start of the game, when you're selecting, like, you're a fan of, like, X Metal Gear game, apparently, if you pick Metal Gear 2, when you drop from the thing and come out the parachute, you've got a Raiden mask on.
Oh,
yes, I've got.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've got that. It looks weird. The only thing is, I was wearing that because I I think this only really matters if you play the game on really hard difficulty settings later, where to complete the game you have to have it on the hardest difficulty, no saves, and if you alert anyone, it's game over, back to the start.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's like I just don't want to entertain that. But you actually you change your outfit, like your different camos and stuff like that, and at the bottom it'll say like how camouflaged you are, and if you like crawl and walk slower, that number will go up. Which I mean, you should be proud of me. I'm not playing on the easiest difficulty, but I'm playing on the second easiest difficulty. So not normal, medium or medium easy. But so yeah, but it's quite interesting. And it was just like I picked that mask, and I was doing a bit later where I was dressed in a lab coat, and then when I got through to a cutscene, he was still wearing the Raiden mask, so he was talking, but obviously he's got a rubber mask over him, so you couldn't see his lips moving or anything, because I was just like, oh, I've broken the cutscene. But yeah, like I said, I've only died a few times. I mean, I got eaten by an alligator straight away within like 10 seconds. The first thing I did, I'm like, how do I swim? Oh, alligator. I said, how do I get past the alligators? My mate's like, shoot them. I'm like, oh, all right then. And then you eat the alligators. Quite weird. But yeah, it's like, I think this happens to me when I played Metal Gear Solid 5, where I try to be stealthy, it all goes to shit, and then I just shoot the shit out of everyone, kill everything. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I don't think this is as long as some of the other ones. I've heard anywhere from like 8 to 12 hours, depending on if you skip. Because it's got a lot of, like the comms talking and stuff like that, which I like. But then they also have those weird, like, not black and white, but like sort of brown and white, like old videos of like old American presidents talking and stuff like that. Whereas my mate, he said, he's played this like 3-4 times in 2 weeks. He loves these games. He said you can skip them. They don't really give you much, or they wouldn't give me much. I think they're for like really hardcore history buffs and things that would appreciate it more. But
as I say, yeah, I mean, I've done it in just over 12 hours on howlongtobeat.com. It says the average is around 12 hours. So
yeah.
I mean, you've got to think when the Metal Gear games came out, games weren't really like 30, 40, 50 hour
That's right.
and above.
No.
Like they generally rolled in at around like 8 to sort of 20 hours. If you got a 20-hour game, it's like, ooh, JRPG or RPG. Kind of fair were the only ones that kind of used to have like super longevity. But then these type of games and like the REs and stuff, like that's generally when like the speed running became a thing.
Yeah.
Not only that, they kind of encouraged it because you used to get unlocks and stuff depending on your like clear time, etc. Do you still get like graded and clear times on Metal Gear? I can't
think
remember
so.
if you did
yeah,
or
when
not.
they get to the end, I definitely remember having a little thing come up with some sort of stats. There's definitely a time on there. Yeah.
So would you play it again, speedrun at Webby, or are you pretty much done?
No, I've deleted it now, mate. I've moved on.
Yeah.
As I do with video games.
But like I said, hopefully I'll finish it within the next couple of weeks. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's just weird. Like when I keep speaking to my mate about it on Discord, and he was telling me like we said about the loading times in between areas. And he said they're trying to keep it because, like, if you alert the enemies and then go from one area to another where there's a loading screen, you then start the next area, like if there wasn't loading screens, do they then follow you into that area?
No.
If not, why wouldn't they? So it kind of breaks the game if you didn't have them.
Monster Hunter used to do that. You'd have an enraged monster in a zone and you just kind of leave the zone, even if it was near the exit with you having a fight. And you could just wait in the other zone, and it was very rare that it would actually follow you into the new area. So you could sort of chill there for a few minutes and let it calm down and go out of rage state, which is like a valid tactic to take out some of the others, some of them if you were playing solo.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, Nick, sorry, is obviously it's just a bit annoying about the console performance. I think
seems fine
for a remake. No,
Yeah.
but for a remake, you'd expect it to be, 4K 60, especially since it's a remake of such an old game. And obviously, I discussed last week obviously I played it on PC, but I had to apply some day one mods to get it to
PC
support
fixed
ultra
it within a
wide.
day, didn't they?
Yes, yeah,
Which is annoying. I mean, they've had I mean, I haven't seen anything, but I'm playing on quality, which is 4K 30 frames per second, because I've always said I'd rather have it at 30, but it doesn't really drop, than 60 if it's going to bounce up and down, because that just looks like slowdown on it.
Yeah.
And it did when my mate was streaming it, and like I said, he said he's waiting for more patches and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm enjoying it, even though I did get told off because I shot a dog in the face.
Oh, well, it's got to be done, mate. They'll kill you, those little bastards.
Yeah.
But no, I think overall, from my experience, was very positive with it. I really enjoyed the story. As I say, it's the first time I played it, so it was really cool to see that prequel, how Snake became who he is, and that initial phase of the story. I thought it was really well done, to be honest.
Mm.
And the gameplay didn't really feel dated to me either.
Did you play? Because I played on like modern controls.
Yes,
because I
did
remember.
as well. Yeah,
because the originals are horrible. I mean, that was where we were just getting used to like 2 analog sticks and things, especially with Metal Gear 2. Whereas this one, not so Webby, when you shoot, it gives you like the Resident Evil Gears of War over the shoulder view, which isn't in the original. And then you press like R1 or whatever, and then it goes to first person. That was all they had for shooting back then.
Yeah.
But with that, I don't know if you remember, like, to shoot like that, you'd have to hold about 3 different buttons to like aim like that, and not and instead of pressing a button to shoot, you'd have to press a button and then let it go to shoot, which is weird. It was a very weird control scheme, but I just went straight for modern controls.
Yeah, same. All good?
Yep.
Sweet.
Who's next?
I was going to say, I know, Darren, you've stopped playing it until there's a patch or something. Is that right? Or
is that Metal Gear?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting, and I've got more than enough to keep me busy at the moment, and we're like in a pretty busy period of stuff coming out with what I've been playing recently.
Very busy.
Indeed.
Borderlands 4 out next week, or this week, sorry, coming. You've got Silent Hill F the week after.
Oh, Jesus.
And then it's just going to start sort of snowballing on from there.
Crazy times. Well, tell us a game that you've been playing then, Darren, this past week.
Well, I'll talk about one that you can chip in as well if you haven't talked about it already. Hell is Us.
Yes.
Ooh, intrigued.
I am very much enjoying this game, as I expected I would after playing the demo for it. Although
PlayStation or Xbox Switch?
I'm PS5.
Good man.
I've got like 10 terabyte of space on my PS5, so there's a hell of a lot to play with, whereas I'm kind of capped on the Xbox with like the storage that I could use without having like some horrendous external plugged in and having to shift my games about, etc. So this game, when you first start it up, hits you with a lot of those kind of like, this game contains sensitive content, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, all right, whatever, skipping through it as you do, thinking like, fucking hell, modern people, they can't deal with anything, can they? And then after playing it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I thoroughly understand why that is on there. Some of the subject matter that this game covers is horrendous.
Really?
Isn't it? Yeah, war crimes. Like, just horrible things that humans will do to other people. You'll meet a guy who's drinking himself to death because he hid while the family lynched his child and wife in front of him, and he didn't lift a finger to try and help. You found out one of the women who lynched his kid was actually his school teacher, who became part of the mob But don't worry, the soldiers make sure she pays for that every night, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go into a house and there's like a child like slumped dead up against the fridge, while the mother's dead, spraddled, like legs akimbo on the table. It gets very dark with a lot of the subject matter. Like, you actually see kids getting gunned down in some of the weird loop stuff that you go into as well. Bodies set on fire, like people lined up against walls and shot. It's grim, really grim. But the actual game itself is fantastic.
Yeah,
like it really has pulled me into that weird world that it kind of feels real, but at the same time it feels kind of surreal and cut off from reality in a way. But then there's been people that obviously say they've crossed the borders to get into the area, like posing as journalists.
Yeah.
Basically, like, so they have obviously crossed into the country from elsewhere in the world. But this, to me, it seems like almost like this. If we're having sort of comparisons, almost like with what's kind of going on in the Ukraine. Not necessarily like another country invading another. This is more to do with basically kind of two religious factions that have kind of been on and off with each other for years. And then, like, war through propaganda and other shit has, like, flared up. People have just turned against each other. So you've got the polemists, which are, like, the religious ones. And I can't... Is it Sabinians or Sabanians or something,
yeah,
the other ones?
Yeah.
And you speak to either people that are of the opposite, and they just despise each other.
I have a massive hatred. Yeah, because I got to because like the countries, the way you move around is you get an APC when you travel around to different towns, and different towns have either one faction or the other. So, like in one town I went to, there was this priest from an opposite faction. Yeah, and they've strung him up and they're torturing him. But you have to get information from him as well. But the guards are like, don't talk to him, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, fucking hell. You're thinking to yourself, oh, shit. But then you go to another town, which is kind of like the opposite things, and you're walking through, but there's loudspeakers, and it's constantly pushing propaganda. If you are of this religion, you deserve to fucking die and all this shit. And I'm like running around thinking, fucking hell, this is depressing as fuck. And then, because I've been playing it quite a lot this week, and I think it's fantastic. But it's one of those games where I can only play it for like an hour or two.
Like break. Yeah, you need a break every now and again just to snap back into something happy.
Yeah, and because I was trying to figure out, obviously, where these entities come from, which you're fighting.
It is kind of explained. I don't want to give too much away, but they did kind of only appear, didn't they, once the violence sort of broke out?
Yeah.
And I've pretty much worked it out from when you start being able to tune up your weapons.
Yeah.
They're tied to emotions.
That's right, yeah. So this is what... I mean, I know it now, but it took me a while to figure it out and do a bit of reading and stuff like that. Because it's weird because I've played it. I feel like I've been playing it a lot. I put about 9 hours or so into it, but I'm only still on Act 1.
Right.
So in every area, well, in a lot of areas, there's these time loop guardians which you kill, and there's these big black blob things. And I've walked up to one, and it's a time something, but every time I go up to one, it says, "Oh, it's too dangerous to go into it. So I've not actually been into those yet. So I'm not actually
sure. You haven't done any of them?
No.
So basically, yeah, when you've taken out all of them, you will hear like a loud noise and a rumble. It's pretty obvious when you've kind of unlocked it. And you go in there and you generally see some horrible thing playing out.
Right. I'm just wondering why it says every time I go up to, because I've killed like in at least 2 areas all the Guardians, but every time I go up to the big black dome, it says, "Oh, it's too dangerous to go in."
Some of them kind of respawn, and some of the Guardians are in like hidden off areas that are sort of slightly out of the way.
So maybe
it's like very good. If you like games of exploration, this is great for that.
Yeah, because you do get equipment to help you, because you get a device in the game which kind of vaguely shows you the direction to go to kill the next Guardian, if there is one in the area. But you're right, Darren, because like it's hard to put a finger on a game to compare it to specifically, because I get like Zelda Ocarina of Time vibes when it comes to the exploration, because you're not getting there's no maps or anything like that. You've just got to kind of figure it out. And with the puzzles as well, and what to do, because you're vaguely guided via conversations or things you read. Because like one thing will say, "Oh, this thing you got to do is past a church to the southeast." Well, you've got a compass, so you're kind of looking out at the horizon, like, "Oh, you know, I think that's a church over there. I'll go in that kind of direction." And then there's a puzzle, and then you got to figure out how to fucking solve that puzzle.
I mean, it's not even too bad for someone like Nick, who's obviously not fantastic with directions, and I know that that's one of the things that you get panicked off with. But there was like a part quite reasonably early on in the game where it was kind of musically done, like where it's like, "Oh, there's things in the trees that make noise, follow those." It's pretty obvious. There's a bit later on when you're basically said, "Oh, they all left and they went over in that direction." And then you speak to someone else and they'll say, "Yeah, they went over in that direction again." And they'd be like, "Oh, you can even see the direction through the window here."
Yeah.
And then if you're really thick, here's a fucking map of the direction that they took, like a bit further down the road on a bench or something, you know what I mean? Like near the office.
Can I please have a hand to hold? I want a hand to hold the whole game. No, I don't.
So it is pretty well spelt out, like when you're actually sort of going through the area. And it's not massive. I will say the biggest area I've been to so far is Jova.
Yeah.
It's quite open, and there's still areas I cannot access in Jova as well.
Yeah.
That's one of the puzzling things where you figure out, like, how do I solve this situation I've been given here? Oh, well, this one blatantly means I have to travel back to another area to hand that to someone to get them to do something that I can then take back to something else, which is like the baby, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Also, I love the Soulsy kind of level design as well, where you'll like be like, "Oh, what's down here? Oh, this opens up that door. I can now go straight out," which I couldn't open because it was blocked from the other side.
Yeah.
So you can kind of open shortcuts and stuff up as well. The combat, I will say, it's serviceable and it's decent. But it's just kind of getting used to the different weapons, because at the start I was like, "Oh, there's a new weapon over there," and then I picked up and I was like, "Why have you given me another version of a weapon I already had? Can I sell this?" And then when you actually get to the point where you can start upgrading your weapons, you realise why you're given multiple versions of the same weapons, because you have to spec them into a different colour, we'll say.
Yes.
So that way you can have maybe a blue one and a red one of the same weapon, if you like that weapon and you obviously want ones for different situations. Obviously, the reasons for the colours is you can get runes that you can socket into your weapons that do extra abilities, and they'll only work with certain weapons of that colour. So obviously blue runes to blue, etc., etc. Yellow, is it yellow, green, blue, and red? Isn't it? The ones I've mainly come across. The more you use weapons, they level up and they get stronger as well. But then they'll hit a cap, and then you'll need to basically level them up to remove the cap so they can go up again, another 4 levels. I think it's 4 levels each cap, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you can kind of go up. When you're fighting enemies, you've got the typical lock on, you've got like heavy attack, light attack. But then when you're performing certain moves, like say some of the moves that involve your drone abilities, like the charge or the distraction, etc. When you're actually performing those abilities, you'll get like a ring that goes around your character and then solidifies at the last second. If you tap like RB at the last second, you'll restore health and stamina, because when you take damage, your health and stamina go down. So the less health you have, the less stamina you have to swing your weapons about and stuff. But you can gain it back quite easily, and also later on in the game you can unlock like passive runes that you can socket to your character, which will give you better effects on stuff like health regen after things, or like damage increase after killing enemies, etc.
Yeah, I've got one that I just use to heal myself, and then it has like a timer until you can use it again, like a circle that goes around it.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, I think I had a rune which actually you can stick on a weapon that has like a healing ability, because it uses that. You've got your health bar, stamina bar, and then another bar which is like white, which is kind of like your weapon skill bar.
Yeah.
So when you're doing stuff like heavy attacks, it will eat into that. But then each time you do like the regain, it will absorb some of that energy back as well. But there are consumables and things like that to use as well to help restore different things, if it's stamina, health, or that power. But yeah, I'm loving the weird sort of world, the conversations that you have with people, the horrible, dark, strange shit that's kind of going on. There's quite a few people I'd like to actually kill. At this point in the game, you know, when you go into an area and you see something horrible and you just think, I want to fucking kill you guys for this, like, what are you doing?
But I like the way the game
does give you a lot of humanity as well. Like, it kind of touches on more, like, realistic things in a sense of, like one of the women says, doesn't she? She spoke to some bloke at the border and he was basically almost bragging to her about all these war crimes and atrocities that he committed. And then she was like, when I was speaking to him, I found it horrible to find out that he's like a father as well and a school teacher.
Yeah.
So it's like anyone's capable of this kind of horrible shit when they're like in a group.
Yeah.
But it's also good to the fact that you'll speak to certain soldiers that are like, I'm really sick of this, I'm just going to drink myself to death. Like, I want to go home, like, this is horrible. Like, you'll go into some place and be like, I didn't do any of this, don't look at me, I don't agree with any of this. And then there'll be a bloke in there who's like, fucking every polemist should be dead, you know what I mean? Yeah. Hang them all. So it's like, it's not everyone from each side is like just black and white.
Yeah, no, 100%. I also like the way the world is set out. Like, it's not, as we say, it's not one just sprawling open world, which is kind of...
No, you kind of zone in, don't you, into different areas using the APC. And
I like that because every area is very different, especially, like, obviously, because I've been used to like a lot of very grim areas, but then there's one area you go to and it's the blue flowers. If you know what I mean.
I haven't gone there yet. I'm looking for that. That's the next area. I've got to speak to people to go to that area.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, this is so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've now unlocked the ability to basically research the weird items you've been picking up.
Yes, I can do, yes.
Which unlock extra mysteries for you to solve and things in the world for you to look for and stuff, which I think is great. So, like, there's a lot of really good exploration in this. I think the only time I've actually looked something up online was the dog.
Yes.
Because I was like, because the game, whenever you make a decision in this game, it basically auto saves, so there's kind of like no going back on what you do, and there's an opportunity you've got to free a dog, and I was like, there's a soldier basically that's taken possession of it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, when do I free the dog? Is the soldier going to shoot the dog if I try freeing it, or what? And then I think I just looked up and it said straight away, like, I'll wait until a bit later on when you get to this area and then do the dog stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, fair enough. So I didn't do it there and then because I didn't want the dog to get killed or something, like with me making the wrong choice.
That's what I like about it, because there's quite a lot of sidey type stuff that you can do.
The good deeds.
Yes. And I quite enjoy doing those, to be honest, because you meet some interesting characters along the way doing them.
Not necessarily that. You kind of feel, in the sense, like you're the only person out there trying to do good shit in this horrible world that's going, like the things that are going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Sort of trying to heal, like, the shite that there is. Because even when I went to do with the stuff with the baby, the person I knew I generally had to speak to, because I remembered very early in the game, that person has something that I know they have because it's sat next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went there for that, he's like, yeah, but don't use it on any of these people, fucking let them die or something. And I'm just like, dude, it's a baby, mate. I don't give a shit what you're saying. Babies don't make choices in wars. They can't help which side they're born on or what. You know what I mean? Like, it can't make any decisions for itself. It's an infant.
Yeah.
It's up to the adults to basically bring it up. And that's not necessarily like as though it's going to be brought up to be a hate-mongering person that you don't like. So it's good that the game proposes all these ideas and questions in your head while you're playing it.
Yeah, the only thing I will say, and we have touched on this on the combat, is it does get very repetitive because there isn't really much of a difference in the enemy types. There's only about 3 or 4 different enemy types in the whole game, I would say.
I've found 5 so far because I just remember there was a trophy for like killing 5 different types. But then you've got the different weapon variations, haven't you? I've found 4 so far. I don't know if there's more than that.
Is the game hard like Dark Souls? Because it looks kind of.
You can choose. Yeah, you can choose your difficulty at any time when you're playing it.
Oh, that's
like
good,
for the combat and stuff.
So it does look like sort of my type of game.
It's a lot of people have said, "Oh, it's very Soulsy," and it's like, well, not particularly. There is like parrying and stuff in it, but it is reasonably hard to do because of the juddery movement of the enemies. They kind of do move a bit mannequin-y, especially like the smaller ones that you first bump into.
It's just sometimes when I see, you know, like the health bar and the stamina bar at the corner and the enemy, and I think, no, I don't want another Souls game.
I wouldn't say it is, because there's none of this resting and then the enemies respawn or anything either. Like when you're in that area, the enemies stay dead.
Yeah, until you travel off somewhere else and come back.
Yeah,
which is good. Like, I quite like that that's there, because at the time when I was doing that, and I came back and I was like, oh, they're all back. Screw it, I'll just use another weapon and start leveling that up while I'm taking them out.
But it's good because whilst you're in that area, you haven't got to worry about the enemies coming back, and you can explore. You can explore properly and solve puzzles and stuff as well without that worry in the back of your mind.
I think the only ones that might respawn are the ones that are camped outside the time bubbles or whatever they are, the time loop domes, because they're usually always guarded.
Yes. But no, I think it's a fantastic game. I think for me, it is a kind of a surprise, even though I really enjoyed the demo that came out earlier on this year, and it was really on my radar from then. But even after playing that, I was still a bit unsure on what the full game would actually be like, and so far I think it's an absolute phenomenal game. But because of, as I said, because of the subject matter, it's very depressing. I can only get an hour or 2 max in before I have to turn it off.
There's only so many times you can listen to a little girl hiding under a blanket talk about watching her 5-year-old brother getting blown to smithereens by bombs.
Yes.
And stuff. Like,
but Yeah, I think it's a really good portrayal on humanity, because once I figured out why those weird enemies are there, it kind of made sense to me. I was like, oh, okay. And the whole premise as well, because you're in this country that's kind of been locked off from the rest of the world as well.
Yes, yeah, because you're being interviewed at the start, aren't you?
That's
and you
right.
kind of like you're retelling the story.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
So this really weird fucking guy.
yeah, with a really big face, a bit like Jabba the Hutt face.
Sort of, yeah.
yeah.
You're wondering
Yeah.
if he's actually like human or
Yeah,
whether
that's
he's
right.
part of something else.
Yeah, yeah. It's as I say, like I played it quite a lot, but I'm not like mega far into the game from what I can see, because I've had a look on a walkthrough guide, because I admit I have had to have some help on a couple of puzzles,
sort of a thing.
And I'm not even a quarter of the way through the story.
Neubenstein.
Well, you know me, mate. I've been using walkthrough since the 90s. I'm not going to.
Yeah,
stop
no,
now.
it is kind of a bit of a head scratcher, because you will come across multiple puzzles where you kind of like, can this be solved now?
Mm-hmm.
And then after a while, you're like, no, it can't be, because I haven't got all the information in front of me.
That's right, because there's a few. I've had it a few times now where you're in an area and you really need to explore the whole area, because you've got to collect, and you don't even know that you got to do this. You've got to collect, say, 4 items to solve a puzzle in another area, a completely other area of the game. And you're like, well, if I hadn't looked at this walkthrough, I would have had no fucking idea about that, you know? So, yeah, but no,
Because I left the first area with like a load of the zone missing. There's still parts of that zone I haven't actually explored yet.
Mm-hmm.
And there was at least 3 or 4 puzzles and things in that area when I left that I could not do because I didn't have stuff to do it.
Yeah.
But you kind of want to do them because you get all this cool gear from them and stuff,
mate,
don't you?
yeah.
Like the defensive gear that you can upgrade and runes for your weapons, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a really cool premise, especially with, you know, you got the drone and you can get it to distract the enemies. I think that's a really cool gameplay mechanic. I really like the APC because it's kind of a home base. Once you, I'm not going to spoil it, but it does become a base, and you can do other things while you're in the APC as well. And there's a whole other story going on because of like you've stolen it, but you're being tracked by the enemy, and like this person from the enemy starts talking to you through the APC. So there's this whole other story going on, and that's pretty cool as well. I think it's kind of for me, this game's a bit of a sleeper hit for me for this year, because I don't think it's a game that's really been hyped up very much at all, as far as I can see online. But it's definitely one of the most intriguing games that I've played this year, for sure.
I know there will be a lot of people out there that will thoroughly enjoy it because they don't necessarily like the constant hand-holding and stuff you get in like a lot of modern games.
Yeah.
And it is nice to obviously think and like know like, oh, this key might be for that chest there. And like there's been plenty of times I've picked up a key, run to an area like literally halfway across the map and been like, no, it's not for that.
Yeah.
Where's the key for that then? Like...
Yeah,
to get my own in though, like when you say, because you were sort of pissed take and say, oh, Nick needs hands up, but both of you said you've had to go online to find out stuff, so it's like, they don't tell you. I know it's just double checking, but you know, and I don't, you know, but it's the balance in it. Do you know what I mean? I want to get a good, because if you have to, like with me, like a few people who I know, like Claire Obscure, I don't know about this, but a lot of people I know who didn't get on with it and they had to go online. And if you have to go online and not play the game, I kind of think the game's failed a bit, especially if you're looking for, you know, telling you where to go or what to do, or you're a bit lost. And also, if you go online, what happens if you go online and you Google it and then all of a sudden it brings up a spoiler for the end of the game type thing? Do you know what I mean? It's just a bit... I understand, because I do think, like 2 or 3 years ago or whatever, when they were going on about, you know, like the yellow paint and stuff, like where to go. And I do think we got overly handheld, but I don't think, and that's what happens with everything really, we're going to, you know, the pendulum effect, we're going to go too far the other way, you know, back to the point where we need to look online. Or, like, I remember, you know, late PS1, early PS2 days where some games were designed, if you didn't buy the strategy guide, good luck in ever completing the game, because some of the stuff that you just wouldn't know. So I appreciate that they're trying to do something different, but if you do have to look online, then they've probably gone too far.
I think to do the main story in this game, you wouldn't need a walkthrough online.
Oh yeah, it's just a side thing. Like the main story's obvious.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just they've got to be a little bit careful to not go too far the other way, because obviously the one thing you don't want if you're playing a game is is to stop playing the game to go on the internet to fuck. Do you know what I mean? Because that literally takes you out of the game.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. So it looks good. I might get it if it goes cheap.
Yeah, it's not a full price game. It looks and runs really good on the Pro that I'm playing on in performance and stuff. And it's surprisingly small as well. It's like 21 gig.
And it looks gorgeous as well.
Which is crazy.
I still think £40 is a full price game, so I'm talking 20 quid, 25.
Well, Hell is Us on PC, mate, it's £27.
If you go to the right places, it's nothing.
CD keys, wow, yes, of course.
Well, CD keys? What's the CD keys you mentioned? I've never heard of that website.
Loaded, now it's called. Yeah. But no, I think for a discounted game and for the subject matter and the gameplay, and I think it's a really good buy for someone who likes that exploration, likes to take their time, talk to people, as I say, explore, figure things out. I think you feel quite pleased with yourself once you figure things out. And
definitely, yeah. There's definitely a sense of satisfaction on like with some of the puzzles. You're like, yeah, I figured it was that.
Yeah. Yeah, so and it makes you appreciate the world more because there's no mini map or anything. You're like actually looking at the world and figuring out where to go, etc. But then you like to go off the beaten path as well because thinking, there might be like another weapon or another puzzle or something down here and
some more people hidden away.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's I think it's a great game, man. Absolutely fantastic, and I look forward to playing more of it this week. In little 1 to 2 hour chunks. Yeah. All good. I'm glad that Darren's enjoying it as well.
Thoroughly recommend it. it.
I think Peebs would love this game as well.
So there's a demo out there. Like you'll get a rough idea of what the demo's like, and if you've kind of finished the demo like I did, wanting more, then you do get it with this.
Does the game transfer over, or is it just a complete different thing?
No, it doesn't actually. As far as I'm aware, although I might have deleted the save data anyway, because sometimes, call me weird, but when they your data transfers over, you might have trophies and stuff or achievements that will unlock in the early part of the game, which you've kind of skipped.
And if that's a few months before the game, you might have forgotten that first hour or two of the game and want to do it again anyway.
Yes, indeed. Especially if it's been a good few months, indeed.
It wasn't actually that long ago, was it, the demo? I think it was only 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
The first demo on PC, which was...
Oh, yes, it came out about a month earlier, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's a great game.
I'm definitely intrigued, but there's so much coming out at the minute. I think it's one of them games I'm going to wait and just let it hopefully price drop a bit.
Well, it's kind of one of those games because it's quite cheap as well. I think it could be quite good Game Pass fodder or PS Plus fodder. I think that'll end up on one of those services at some point.
Or it might be one of those games that you end up finding reasonably cheap, like secondhand. You can see people finishing it and then just being like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. It's not exactly where, I can't wait to get back into that violent, horrible, war-torn. Listen to everyone's plights and stuff. I really want to hear the guy crying over the body of his dead child and wife again. I
take it none of you have played Cronos this week, because...
Yeah, I have. I was just waiting for my next go round.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was going to say that I've not played that yet, but again, the reason I've not started that yet, as I just wanted to say, is because obviously I know that's was meant to be quite a depressing, dark game as well, and to have two on the go at the same time, I don't know, man. We'll talk about it in a minute, but I'm kind of putting that off until I finish Hell Is Us, I think, at the moment. But I'll get into a happy game then.
Yeah.
If we finish talking about Hell Is Us.
Basically covered the bases on that one.
Yeah, I've only actually played 2 other games this week, and the other one is a brand new release, and I've been really enjoying it. It's really, really fun. Plays really well on Steam Deck. I've been playing it with my boy and my missus as well, 2 and 3 player, because you can pass the controller or the device at the time, because it is Everybody's Golf.
Ah.
I tell you what, I forgot that this was coming out. And I really have great memories of playing Everybody's Golf on the PlayStation 4. I think that was actually the last one that came out, was the PS4 version, because I actually played it on my PS5, but they shut down the online servers. And it was just a fun game, because it's one of those, it's kind of... the only other golf game I can kind of compare it to is maybe Mario Golf, which I've played on the Switch.
Yeah, very arcadey and pick up and play.
Yeah, but I do love a good golf game. And because it's obviously got the cutesy characters and it's quite easy to pick up but hard to master, I've been playing this loads. I pumped about 8 hours into it, just sitting on my Steam Deck, just chilling out on the sofa and playing it. I took my daughter to ballet. I take her to ballet on a Saturday morning. And it's about half an hour, so I'll just sit in the car and wait. And my boy was like, Daddy, can I come with you? And we can sit in the car and play some of that golf game while we wait for Eris. I was like, all right then. So we're both hooked on it. I will say, though, it's very grindy. I've only unlocked... Well, you only start off with 2 characters, and I've only unlocked another 2. So I've got Pac-Man and some other random character, because the way you unlock the characters and the other courses is by playing the story mode with the characters. And I've not gotten super far on them, because I've been playing quite a bit of just the multiplayer with Marcus mainly. So I'm waiting to unlock the stuff, but in a way it's annoying, but in another way it's good, because it's a way to keep you playing, and it is just fun. Because it's basically it's the free hit system. You press it once, you press it again when you get up to the top of the bar or all your power, and then you press it again in like a little bar on the bottom right to have your aim. Is it going to be good or shite? Pretty much. But then it has the other stuff of like special power move you can maybe use if you unlock it throughout the thing, or you get a few power shots as well. It's on PlayStation, Nintendo Switch and PC. It seems to have omitted the Xbox for some strange reason. I think it's because Sony have some part to do with the series. I think that might help.
Yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
Looks very Japanesey.
It is very Japanesey, because you've got the Japanese girls with very short skirts, and then the Japanese men with the long hair and wacky outfits. And
Pac-Man, the video that's on Twitch at the minute. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Pac-Man's awesome, mate. I will not have you besmirch Pac-Man.
Yes, but isn't this double standards from you, Webby? You're moaning about COD and their skins. This is a golf game, and it's got stupid Pac-Man playing the golf.
Yeah, but Pac-Man
your favourite skins from Call of Duty are in Fortnite this week.
Not Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, dear. But no, I'm absolutely loving this, because I'm a big fan of the series, because it's very easy to pick up and play. And the reason I picked this up, obviously, on PC was to mainly play on my Steam Deck, because obviously it is also a Switch and Switch 2 game, so Steam Deck can easily run it, and it's nice just to have a little chill handheld game to play while I'm chilling out on the sofa. I love golf anyway, and it's just a lot of fun. You can buy upgrades, different outfits and things like that. It's just very light-hearted. You can play it online as well. Not that I know anyone else that's picked it up. I think that's, the series is quite niche in the West, but it's very popular in Japan. But, you know, if you're after a little golf game that's not mega, that's not serious, but has a really good gameplay loop, I really recommend it. I mean, it's hard because, you know, I've had to replay many scenarios in the single player because I've not won the match. So, because it's very, you got to be very precise. It looks cutesy, but it has a bit of a steep learning curve to get good. So,
what's it called? Everybody's Golf.
Everybody's Golf Hot Shots.
Because they've got Everybody's Golf on the PlayStation Store, but it's PS3. That's the
I think that's when it first appeared. I remember it on the PS3 and the Vita as well had a pretty good version.
Yeah. That has changed it because the last version I played, I think it was a PS4 version, I think it's done by a different team from what I was reading, because the last version, you could, like, after you hit the ball, you could run around the course and move from hole to hole yourself. But on this, it's very traditional. It moves you yourself. And the online in the old one was, before they shut it down, was very social. Like, you'd all be in a little hub area running around. You'd set up a game and you'd all have your little characters and that. It's none of that. It's just golf. So they've stripped it back a little bit in that regard. But again, it's not a full price title. On PC, I paid £24 for it. So, not too bad. And as I say,
sounds like a rip-off to me.
I love it, mate. You know, just chill out, play, and it's been really fun to play with the boy and the missus as well. So for me, it's a family gathering game. Even though every time I play it, Marcus says to me, "Daddy, I really want you to get Mario Golf on the Switch." Oh, for God's sake! So I'm gonna have to get that at some point. But I think it's a fun game, and it's something. And it's because I've been playing a lot of Hell Is Us this week, and it's very depressing. I'll play Hell Is Us, and then I'll put this on, and then and then I'll just be happy again, you know, and chilled out. It's like that feeling you get when you've watched a really scary horror film, and then you put a comedy on afterwards to chill out, to change your mood. That's kind of that for me at the minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Hot Shots Golf. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. It's really, really cool, and yeah, check it out. Back to Peebs.
Well, as you know, I play a lot of Warzone, and one of my bugbears with Warzone is there's no trophies or achievements for it, which is very odd because I know it's a free-to-play game, but all other free-to-play games seem to have them, like Apex Legends and all them sort of games. They've all got trophies. I don't know why Warzone hasn't. Anyway, it annoys me when I go to my games trophy list and I can see, obviously I play a lot of Warzone, it's my most played game. And it always says 0% next to it, which is just a little OCD thing I have. I don't like having the 0% next to my games. So I thought, because obviously, you know, with the Call of Duties, it does this stupid hub thing, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So you've got all the games, or so many games included. So when you click on Warzone trophies, it then drops down and it separates. You've got Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 3, I think, on the trophies. I thought, what I'll do, I know they're all on Game Pass on Xbox, but what I'll do is I'll just wait, see if they drop in the sale, pick them up on disc cheap, play them, so then I can get the trophies on them. So then when I load it up, Warzone doesn't look like it's got 0% next to it. I know it's stupid, but it's just one of my little OCD things. And I enjoy playing the Call of Duty single player campaigns anyway. So anyway, I sourced Modern Warfare 2 for about £7 this week on disc for the PlayStation. So I got it delivered. I thought, sweet, I'll put that on this week. Obviously installs, and I can't play the campaign on it.
Lols.
It's installed and everything, and I can play multiplayer, but it just will not play the single player, even though it's on there. I've gone through everything on the, like, make sure, you know, when you can go to the manage files, yes, it's installed. I've been online to try and find out, and there's all sorts of glitches. I don't know whether it's to do with this hub. So I go onto the hub the Call of Duty hub, see if I can load it through there. All that does is it kicks you back onto the thing to play it through the disc. I'm just getting nowhere with it. I've uninstalled the whole lot, even Warzone, the disc, loaded it back up. 3 times I've done it, and I still can't get the single player campaign to work. I've even turned off the internet, so I thought I'll play it offline and then get the trophies, and then when I switch it back online, they should pop. No, you switch it offline, you go to play the single player campaign, and it says you need to be online to play it, even though it's a single player campaign. So that's just annoyed the hell out of me this week. I've spent hours trying to sort that out. I've managed to play the single player campaign, but I'm having to do it through PlayStation 4.
What?
It works through PlayStation 4, but not PlayStation 5, and it's the same disc.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know whether I'm doing something wrong or whether it's a known glitch or what. It's weird.
Modern tech is shit, mate. That's basically
yeah,
what
it is. It is. Because I just want to put the disc in and play the single-player campaign. I'm not interested in the DMZ and the multiplayer. But yeah, I'm just... now it's put me off getting like the Modern Warfare 3 and the Black Ops, because I just think, are they going to give me the same issue? I really don't know. I put it in the Discord, but none of you buggers in Discord bothered helping, so...
Because we don't know, mate.
Yeah, right. I never had this issue, mate.
Did you turn it off and on again?
Yeah, I've turned it on and off again.
Which one? Is it the new Modern Warfare, or the 360 one, or the remaster of Modern Warfare 2?
It's the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the one they brought out in 2022. So it's not the remaster or anything. It's got it's PlayStation, because at first I thought, oh shit, his matey sent me the wrong. I bought it off Vinted, and I thought, fuck, is he sent me a PlayStation 4 disc? But no, I ejected the disc. It's got PlayStation 5 on the disc. It downloads it. It comes up on the dashboard, downloading everything. I go into manage files. It's all there. But when you just click on the single player campaign, it just goes loading, and nothing happens. But I can play the multiplayer. I can play the DMZ. You can play the whatever else was on there. There was all sorts. Oh, that's it. The co-op stuff. It's just a single player campaign. I could do it through PS4. But then when I play it on the through PS4, I don't know whether it's going to unlock the trophies or the hub on Warzone. It's all very complicated, I know.
Well, it's because Activision have fucked up COD completely, haven't they?
But yeah, I don't know why they've got this stupid hub, Call of Duty hub, isn't it? It's just like everything. You download Warzone and everything's on there. It wants you to buy everything. It wants you to buy all the other games and skins and all sorts. It's just, why can't you just keep
you buy the skins for like Warzone or one of the CODs, and then they bring out the next one, and it's like, oh, by the way, none of your skins are going to carry over.
Well, they have sort of made an announcement, haven't they, for the next Call of Duty? I think because people have been kicking up about all these stupid skins, they said the next game's not going to have them or something. So if you've bought loads of skins, I think they're only going to carry on onto Warzone, but not on the multiplayer of the new Blops 7 or whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah, I know. I think I've made the right decision there.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. I mean, if you bought the skins for Warzone, they'll still work on Warzone, but Blops will just be like a separate multiplayer and a separate game. But it's just these integrated like hubs. I can see why they do it, because it just like everything's in one place. But if it works, that's fine. Right. I should just be able to go onto the Call of Duty hub, click on my Modern Warfare, and it load up and play.
Yeah.
So annoying. So I don't know whether just to keep persevering and see if I can figure it out, or just sack the whole thing off. I don't know.
Well, I've just done an AI search, and apparently there's like stuff that you have to download, like a campaign pack 1, 2, and 3 that you have to install to even play the campaign. So maybe you have to install everything and all the little packs, because I know PlayStation's a bit iffy sometimes with DLC. Because, yeah, I've noticed that sometimes. I'm like playing something, I thought, I'm sure I installed that and didn't. But it seems when COD have made it so you can choose whether you want multiplayer or the campaign or zombies, just seems a bit glitchy sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's because the game is so big overall. They let you decide. You can delete the multiplayer off just to free up space. But yeah, I've been on there. And I've downloaded the campaign pack 1 campaign. Did you say there's a campaign pack 3? Because there's only 2 on mine.
That's what it says on AI. It says campaign pack 1, 2, and 3. So maybe there's a campaign pack 3.
Must be hidden somewhere then, because I can't freaking see it.
Yeah, maybe it's not through the disc, and you'd have to find it in the store, and it'll realise you got a disc, and you can add it to your library, maybe.
Yeah, because that was the other thing when I bought it. I put it in, downloaded, and then went up to play on it. It kept coming up $69.99. Like, what? This is a disc. I own the disc. I couldn't figure that out for 20 minutes, and in the end, you have figured it out. You have to go scroll across to the 3 dots, and then the 3 dots, it allows you then to download it. All very confusing.
I remember seeing that like on PS5 where you're playing and it still says the price of the game in the corner.
Yeah.
Because like they want you to think you haven't got it or accidentally buy it again. Maybe they've just made Call of Duty hard to play because they want you to buy the new one, not play the old one.
Yeah. Yeah, so rant over, Webby, but if anyone listening knows what I'm doing wrong or whether it's just a glitch, let us know, please.
Lovely. All right, Peebs, thank you for that. Nick, played anything else?
Yeah, I played a brand new game and completed it this week.
What?
Sort of. They finally put Resident 2 and 3, the PS1 versions, on PSN store for PS5 and PS4. So, which is cool because I already had them digitally from like the PS3, PSP days. So even though it's like, I don't think you can buy them yet, but they're part of one of the PlayStation gamepass, whatever the hell they call it, one of the tiers. But like the original,
are these original games?
The original PS1 versions. And I knew they weren't really going to do anything because they did Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut last year, and they didn't do anything with that. But this is probably some of the worst emulation I've ever seen.
Oh.
Like, these versions are worse than the PS3 versions they've done.
Oh.
Because thing is, there's loads of better ways to play this. You know, if you it's not as difficult if I can do it. You know, you can get them on PC because they're available on Good Old Games, or get a hacked ROM version or whatever. But this is literally the PS1 version, and they brought it out again on Dreamcast, GameCube, and N64. And between the two, most people say it's either like Dreamcast, GameCube, or you play it on PC with loads of like the HD mod packs and stuff like that. But even if you were to play this on like the crappiest emulator you could find, it'd be better than whatever they've done with this version. Because I'm not sure what they've done, even though the last game, it was just basically an emulated carbon copy of it. Because fair enough, if they don't want to do a full-on HD remake, they're going to keep them original. Fair enough. And the only thing good is it's the American and the PAL version. If you did want to speed run it, you could play the American versions because, that's the whole 50, 60 hertz thing, Webby. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. So people, if they want to do it, and it's good because it's accessible, but yeah, you can't buy them yet, only through the subscription or if you already had them, so I've got them for free. But I did post it in, and I'm not sure, there's some sort of weird AI emulation thing they've got, which they've done to all the characters, like the main characters and the zombies, that they're somehow like melting as you're standing and walking around. They've got this weird sort of smoothing AI stuff to try and make the characters look good or look better, because obviously this is PS1, so they're really triangular and jaggy edges and stuff like that. But it just looks so... Can you remember? I did post it in WhatsApp a while ago, Webby. The only thing I can remember... Have you ever watched Harry Potter when they take that polyjuice potion and all their face start getting the mumps and mold? That's what it looks like. It's like Leon's eating his own face and his dick keeps getting hard and soft and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't think they meant for that to happen. It's just like, it's weird as fuck. I mean, I could complete these games in like just over an hour without trying because I played them so many times. So I just played through it quickly on PS5 and then I put it on PS4 because they work on PS4 and PS5. So I want to see if it was, and it's the same on both versions. So I just don't know why these companies, especially like Sony and Nintendo, that have such a problem with people using emulation, yet they go and use emulation themselves, but it's just shit emulation. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you could use like RetroArch or like DuckGo Station or whatever it's called, Duck Station, and these games would look awesome. I mean, the version you've got, Webby, is lovely. That's like the Source Next. They've upscaled it to 4K, but in your head, that's how it always looked.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but whereas and of course, because this has gone up from what we had, back in the 90s, like 240p up to 4K, it just looks so bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, even so, like today, like the best way I would play is through my Dreamcast with I've got a HDMI cable that goes through that sort of ups it to 1080p, and I've got both of them, and I'm flicking between. I'm like, it's just night and day, and it's just annoying that these companies just don't put effort in with stuff like this.
Yeah, just being
lazy, mate. Release it with really shitty emulation as well. I mean, if people have got it for free, obviously it's easier to play it on PS4 and PS5 than get an old Dreamcast and GameCube and then buy cables and stuff to work on a HD TV. But it's just sad because I see so many, like, the fans doing all these mods and stuff like that and making them look so good. And recently, they've been doing the Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
They've been making them HD. And I thought, why don't Capcom just do that as well? They could outsource it and get these people and just use that and just pay people to do it. Because didn't they, years ago, Capcom, the guy who was modding Sonic, and they got him to do Sonic Mania?
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's so many, and especially when you said, like they release Metal Gear Solid and it runs like crap and there's no ultra wide and fans just fix it in a day, yet the companies can't. It's just, I like it because I like how much the fans rally around and they put time and effort into doing it, but the companies just don't really care. But yeah, that's one game, so that'll be Game of the Year, obviously.
Okay, fair enough.
Next.
Darren.
So Cronos was another one of the big releases this week, which is kind of, if you've seen the early trailers, it looks sort of almost very like Dead Spacey. It's made by Bloober Team, the people behind, obviously, the Silent Hill 2 remake that came out last year, which was absolutely fantastic. So my hopes were up for this one. Again, it weighs in like on the file size at like 21 gig, I think it is, or 20 gig.
Some good compression.
So it's like I've got 3 games this week, bad. And combined total of them together was like about 62 gig, which is crazy when some games are just like more than almost double that. The game looks beautiful. The atmosphere in it is very, very good. The sound design, the sort of level design and everything, the sort of clunkiness of the sort of character, again, reminiscent of Dead Space. You've got like a kind of punching move and a stamp move. I will say the part of the game that I like the least is the combat.
I've heard it's a bit sluggish.
It is very clunky and cumbersome, and you can get overwhelmed super quick because the enemies are very spongy. And I mean, like, to the point where you could, like, use 5 to 6 shots to kill one. And ammo is extremely scarce. If you find 3 bullets, you're like, yes.
So there's a lot of the melee combat then, or no?
The melee is useless. It's useless. It literally says like it should be used at a last resort. But I was kind of initially playing it like Dead Space, where you like shoot them in the leg, put them down, run up, stamp on them a couple of times. But if you do that, they'll just get straight up, wallop you, flying. And you're like, oh, right, great. And then you'll get probably walloped again as you're getting up. And then the next thing you know, you're on like red health. And again, like the med kits and stuff in the game are very, very scarce. So it's all about trying to figure out where to shoot the enemies to do the most damage. Thankfully, you have 2 versions of shots. So you've got like charge shots and standard shots. Charge shots actually use the same amount of ammo as a standard shot, which is cool. So you kind of generally want to use the charge shots because they do more damage. But you can't get them off very quickly, so it's actually quite hard to stumble an enemy who's sort of like coming towards you with like a couple of shots before they just batter you. Whereas you could pick off a couple of headshots, which sends them stumbling back, which then leaves them open for a charge shot. Kind of thing. So that's the only issue I actually have with it, full stop, is the combat.
Okay.
It will get better over time because you pick up sort of things. You pick up stuff that's used, like I think it's just called energy, which is basically your currency in the game, like gold, which you can use to upgrade your weapons. Whereas if you want to upgrade your suit, they require some other module that you pick up. I think I've had like 2 or 3 of them so far. And obviously, like, you need 1 module for the first upgrade, 2 modules for the next one, sorry. And you can upgrade your health capacity, your inventory size, which you start off with, you can only carry 6 items. Again, if you upgrade the magazine clip on your gun, you can obviously carry more bullets in it, so it kind of takes up maybe needing more inventory space for your bullets and stuff. But there's been a couple of times where I've literally like, yeah, bring it on. I've got like 14 bullets and 6 in my gun. Let's go. 1 combat thing later, I've got 2 bullets left.
Yeah, it's a bit like reminds me of, what was the other one? The what was it called? The Castillo Project or whatever it was called.
Callisto Protocol.
Callisto Protocol, which I did like. I will say the enemies in this are a lot harder to kill than in that.
Because that had a bit of a strange combat thing as well, didn't it?
Yeah, and the dodging
ammo
left
was
and right.
Scarce.
Yeah.
I remember you having issues with that, didn't you?
They will all get to a sort of point where you generally end up where ammo isn't as much of an issue. But there's like, also don't waste your money on ammunition, because even though like you might go to an ammunition pod and it's like, yeah, buy handgun ammo times 5. That's just how many you can buy. Because I bought one for like 100, and I was just like, hang on, I've still pretty much got the exact same number I had before. And then I worked out like, oh, that was just for 1 bullet. So you buy them per bullet, and it's like you can buy 5 of them.
No.
So yeah, do not waste your money on ammunition. It's pretty pointless. Save up for the gun upgrades. Like one of the other ones could be worth it is stability, because your gun sways a fair bit as well. When you're obviously trying to aim, it has some heft to it. I'm literally about 2 hours into the game, but again, like I'll say, the actual atmosphere and the storyline is interesting, and the locations you're going around, it's very kind of Eastern European, we'll say. Which I
does look
believe
like
they're
they've
Polish.
ripped loads of areas from Silent Hill 2, but like the like the underworld type thing, like the mouldy world, it looks very similar. So I don't know if they've used a lot of the same sort of assets and stuff or style.
No, I haven't really noticed that, to be honest, as of yet. They probably just penned down a load of things while they were doing the remake for it.
It's just
obviously
there's a few bits like you went through like a little gap in the wall, which is like a loading bit, but it hides and it sort of like zoomed and followed him through in exactly the same way as Silent Hill 2 does.
One of the other mechanics that the game does have is you basically have corpses that are laying around on the map a fair bit, which are kind of like dead enemies, like which ones again. Thankfully, I haven't actually come across the one thing that pissed me off with RE3. Where you get like the dead bodies lying around the maps, and they're going to get up, but you shoot them and do whatever to them and nothing happens, and then you go somewhere and come back later and they get up and you're just like, yeah, this is why I should have taken you out earlier. Thankfully, that hasn't particularly happened in this. So the reason that the other bodies are generally there is because they like merging with corpses of other enemies to get stronger. So you basically don't want them merging at all. So the tool you do get to combat this is like a flamethrower charge, or like a canister that you can fill up at certain points, where you basically like jet on the floor, which will ignite corpses, but it will also stumble back enemies that are in the vicinity as well. And it can be pretty cool to obviously like take an enemy out, get a couple of them to circle in near them, set one of the corpses on fire, which then sets the other ones writhing around, and then just blast them apart, sort of a thing. Which does save on ammunition. And the bonus thing is when you do run out of the canister ammo for the flamer, if you have a dispenser nearby, it will continuously give you ammunition for it, but only if you've run out, because you can upgrade the capacity for that as well. It is another thing in the game that you can upgrade. But you kind of play like this weird I don't even know if you're human. This is how like strange and weird the game is, because you talk, like your character talks almost like a robot.
Oh, right.
Like it's emotionless. Like it's very, very weird. Like it's following the directive kind of thing. There is no difficulty to the game. And at the start of the game, you're kind of asked a bunch of questions. Almost like the game I spoke about last week, Karma, where you basically you've got like a sort of AI person or thing asking you different questions about what is your directive, what is it you're here to do. And some of the answers to those are very weird and strange. It almost feels a little bit like a slight inspiration from Blade Runner, maybe. I don't know. Like the questions they ask the androids to determine whether they're human or not, or whether they're starting to get emotions and stuff. So I'm expecting that to play into it, because you're basically there investigating the dying remnants of a world on the collapse, basically, and you're sent to recover the data and continue the mission of the last traveller that's fallen. So basically someone that went out before you, you're looking for their body. It's pretty cool. I will say what I've played so far is very good. I've just been distracted by Hell Is Us, and I think it's going to be quite weird to juggle stuff. And I think Hell Is Us, as quality as it is, I don't think it's going to be like a super long game.
Okay.
So if I had only 50 quid, which one would you recommend, this or Hell Is Us? If we could only pick one.
I would honestly say I prefer Hell Is Us to Cronos, just from the type of game it is. If you want something that's like Resident Evil or Dead Space or whatever, Cronos.
Yeah, because looking at the videos, both videos today on Twitch, I think I would probably go for Cronos. I'm not saying that the other one. I want to play them, but I think I'll go for this one first.
Yeah.
There's Hell in Us story 16 hours.
Oh, right. Is that just if you're mainlining the story?
Yeah, that's his main story. Yeah, main story 16, main plus extras 24, completionist 31.
Cronos is 12.
I can't imagine I can't imagine, that it would be much further behind, like with Cronos, really.
Yeah. But I always think with this Cronos, I just think, is this going to be another one like Callisto Protocol where within like 2 months it's going to be a tenner? Because if it doesn't sell well,
not because it does deserve to do well, considering it's an original IP and it's obviously something the studio is passionate about and wanted to work on, rather than just being handed the reins to a remake.
The trouble is so many games coming out, people could be holding off. Like Borderlands is this week.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. There's an issue with the old clumped releases, and the fact that obviously when we used to get those clumped releases on the 360 days. Like we've talked before, haven't we, about the fact that the games now are longer.
Yeah.
Than they used to be, if people actually got the time to play sort of like multiple games. Because there's probably quite a few people that are, like yourself, Peebs, that are interested in the Hell Is Us and Cronos.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, we're only a month or two away from the Black Friday stuff, so you can usually get some good bargains in then.
Well, I'm just going to wait for both of them, really, because I've got Death Stranding 2 that I'm halfway through. Stellar Blade is my next game, so by the time I've done them two, hopefully they'll have dropped. They won't have dropped to a tenner, I don't think, but they'll have hopefully dropped a little bit on disc second-hand from CX or something, 25 quid maybe, 30 quid.
But yeah, very happy with both of them, with what I've played. Like I say, the combat with Cronos at the start, it kind of irked me a fair bit, where I was just like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, the first enemy I bumped into, like, I struggled like fuck to kill them without actually having, like, a reasonable bit of health left or, like, actual ammunition left. But then as you play it more, you kind of figure out where to shoot them and what to kind of do and to put more distance between yourself. It's definitely not like a Resident Evil get up in their face type of a shooty run and gun type of game. But the atmosphere is great. Like I say, like going around all these dark halls, hearing noises, seeing all this weird mass of like biomass and stuff that's entangled itself around the walls and stuff. It's like pretty cool. Again, another one I would recommend.
Nice.
I'm actually kind of surprised that like Xbox or someone didn't try and approach either of these two games to try and get a Game Pass.
Perhaps the companies didn't want it. Perhaps they might have done. And the companies like, no, we'd rather sell it. I know a few people in the Discord are loving this game as well. I've noticed a few conversations going on between a few people in the chat room.
Yeah, I must admit, I've seen quite a few people on my friends list playing this and Hell Is Us. It feels, again, a bit like the old 360 days when you get like a load of games come out at once. I haven't had this for a while where you've been sort of spoiled for choice for the amount of games coming out.
There's another game out as well that I got this week that I haven't got around to playing yet, and that's Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion, or whatever it is, which I played the demo of and I liked, but I'm kind of like, maybe I'll give it a muck about tomorrow because I've got a day off work.
Nice.
Or I might just end up jumping back into Hell Is Us for a bit and doing more on that, or I might jump on I don't know. Choices.
Decisions.
Indeed.
Yeah, exactly.
First world problems.
Yes. I've only played one other game this week, and I've only played it for less than an hour. So my initial impressions, I don't know if any of you guys have played this. Hollow Knight Silksong.
No, it's been a huge success, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm kind of feel like, and the only reason because I played it a little bit, so obviously it's on Game Pass. But
maybe that was why some of the companies turned it down, like because of it would have basically clashed with that as the freebie.
Maybe.
Which was like another sort of like long-awaited game, wasn't it?
Well, I didn't know this because obviously it's got such a cult following from the original game that I didn't realise, because I played a little bit of the first game, because that's been on Game Pass forever, but I just always thought it was just like a typical kind of Metroidvania side-scrolling game with some pretty nice art style. But it has no map. And most of these Metroidvania games have a map, so you can kind of see where you're going to go, whatever. But this takes it to another level, where it's kind of like, I think it's been compared to like the Dark Souls of Metroidvanias.
Oh God!
Yeah,
everything's the Dark Souls coming, isn't it?
Yeah, so I never finished the first game because I got
Dark Souls, the card games.
I'm gonna be honest. I just got a bit bored. So on this one, I only kind of got to the first boss. Took me a couple of goes to beat it because you need to learn the mechanics, a bit like a Dark Souls. But I'm kind of like, I've come away from it thinking, what is so special about these games that it's got such a following? Because apparently there were so many people downloading the game on PlayStation and on Steam that the service crashed on launch day.
Yeah.
So it's obviously super popular, and I get people love these kind of games, but I can't kind of figure out why it's so popular, because it just seems to me like another platforming type game. So I played about an hour. I thought it was okay. I'd love for someone to tell me what the love for these games is, why there's so much hype around them, and stuff in the general gaming community. I'd like to understand that a bit more. But as I say, I think it's a Metroidvania with some nice art, and it's okay, and that's about it. I can't really say much else about that. It's just about bugs. You're fighting bugs, and there's bug bosses, and apparently the game's like 60 hours long as well. So
wow,
yeah,
a fair length. Again, I think this was the fact that I think I saw on Steam it hit over like 535,000 people concurrent.
Yeah.
Which obviously, if you're playing through Steam, you're not playing it through Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
It was a £20 release as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I actually think this year has been super interesting because most of the games that have been getting all the praise or have gone down exceedingly well with gamers, they're not AAA £60, £70 games.
Yeah.
This has been like a phenomenal year for like that £45 or under type of like AA or indie games in general.
Yeah.
Seem to be sort of like taking off a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
And this is another one to add to the list, as well as obviously like Cronos, which is technically it's not a full price game. I'd say that's AA, but it's got AAA production value, and the same with Hell Is Us.
Yeah, for sure. There's been a few, hasn't there? Expedition 33 was a cheaper game as well, wasn't it?
Mm. And obviously you've had a load of other ones on Steam, haven't you? Like the weird, I can't remember what it was called, the game that sold like millions, where it's like drug dealer simulator or whatever it was.
Oh, fuck, what's it called? Oh, it's going to bug me now. Loads of people have been playing that. Fuck, that's going to really annoy me now.
Isn't it called like something one? Or something
Schedule
weird,
1, isn't it? Schedule
that's
1.
It, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously you had Peak as well.
Yeah, Peak. Another huge game.
Yeah. It's been a good year, man. So yeah, that's that. My initial impressions is it's decent, I guess, but that's all I've played this week. So I'm going to be quiet now and let you guys take over. Back to Peebs.
Well, like I said earlier, I've been doing Death Stranding. Up to about chapter 7, I think now. Still really liking it. I think I've got about half of Australia uncovered now.
Death Stranding 2. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Death Stranding 2, sorry, yeah. Yeah, just really loving it. I just don't want to rush it because I like it. I'm taking my time. I'm going doing extra deliveries. And it's definitely more accessible than the first. Like you get your vehicles quite early. You get like a truck where you can carry a lot more stuff in it, so you're not having to manage your load. You can get a harpoon for it, so as you're riding around, it harpoons the packages and automatically puts them onto your truck and stuff. So that makes it a lot easier. So it's definitely a lot more accessible than the first. So if you got frustrated with the first, I know a lot of people like yourself, Webby, played it originally and got a bit fed up with it. Second one's definitely. I'm preferring the story more as well. It's a bit more understandable. There's new characters in it. You get like a ship that sort of follows you around. It's like your fast travel. That's got its own like separate little story with a pilot and stuff. It's really cool. Graphically beautiful. It's just some of the scenes are like you, and some of the gameplay you feel like you're actually playing a film. Really, really good. So overall, that's probably game of the year for me so far, unless one of these other games come on. Like obviously there's a few more coming out that I've not played yet, so we'll wait and see. But yeah, really loving it. Really great game.
Fantastic. I'm glad you're enjoying it, mate.
Yeah, but like I say, I've obviously got Stellar Blade here to put on. As you know, I don't like having too many games on the go. I've downloaded a couple of games from the PlayStation. Have got a 75% off sale on some games. I've been picking up a few bits and bobs here. I picked up the Hitman. Again, that's a bit like the Warzone thing where they have like a hub, don't they? You download the main sort of hub, and then there's all sorts of shitloads.
Well,
of
it's
stuff
Hitman World of Assassination. It's known as now, isn't it? They've basically stuck all three main sort of games under one banner and stuff, and you can like buy it. Often goes in sale for like £20 or under, where you basically get this game and all of those with it. Do you have the PSVR, Peebs?
I haven't got it, no, but I did notice you can play it in VR, can't you?
Yes, you can play the whole of all of the first 3 game campaigns maps in VR too. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. No, I've not even really looked into VR headset really. I'm just not really that interested. But I did see it comes up. It was accessible for that, so I did wonder how that would work.
It does cost you. I think it's like £7 or £8 for the VR unlock.
Oh, right.
Although you can get a bundle which does come with that bundled in as well.
Well, I got it's obviously, like you say, it's the World of Assassination. It was reduced from, I can't remember now, but it was down to $4.99 in this. In this 75% sale, it's down to $4.99. So I picked that up, even because I've played pretty much all of it on Xbox.
Yeah.
But I do like the Hitmans, and I thought, I'll have it for £5. So I did the first training mission on that, but I only downloaded it yesterday. So this week I'll probably put a bit more time and effort into that. I just really like them games, and I think that was Pro enhanced as well.
Possibly.
Top of that. Yeah, but it's even if it's not, I mean, it did look graphically really nice. Obviously,
on everything anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've not really looked into it too much. I know I can play the Dartmoor, the racing track. There was a racing track, weren't there? So I don't actually know what I've got for my £5 at the minute. I don't know how many games.
Yeah, you might only have one of the. It does sound super cheap, so you might only have access to like one of the episodes, like 1, 2, or 3. I think each one has 5 levels, 6 levels.
Yeah, so I'll let you know next time I'm on what I actually got for that got for that price. But
you will possibly have access to freelancer mode as well, which is something one of my friends plays constantly, which is kind of like one where you have like a hub and like a persistent thing where you have to choose your weapons and you go out on certain maps to do certain challenges to earn points that you can spend on items. But if you take items into a map and die or fail, I think you lose those items that you took in with you.
Oh, right. I mean, there is a shitload on there, isn't there? It's just loads of... So then it's Hitman 1, 2, 3, then there's all these other stuff. There's loads of stuff to do on there. And obviously they're all replayable with, killing people different ways.
Multiple different ways, yeah.
Challenges and stuff, yeah. So there's a lot there. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into that. And then just quickly, Webby, while I'm here, because...
Oh, good, mate.
I... Obviously, in this sale, I downloaded the the Capcom arcades.
Oh, I love them. Yeah, cool.
Well, obviously, the main hubs are free to download, aren't they?
Yeah.
But I noticed on the sale, all the games are 50% off.
Oh,
so
nice.
They're normally £1.69. They're all down to 84p at the minute. And I thought 84p, dipping. Can't even buy a coffee or a cup of tea.
Your 16-year-old self would be flipping out.
Yeah.
£100? What the hell? I can't even play a credit in an arcade for that.
I know. So, I've only played the second one at the minute, Arcade Stadium 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I've downloaded a couple of games, 1943 and what was the other ones? Gallagher or something.
Gallagher?
It's basically like Golden Axe, but you like Lancelot and it's like Knights of the Round Table.
Yes,
Knights of the Round, stunning. It was one of the games that I remember being thoroughly impressed with when I was younger, just from the fact that as you leveled up, your character got more armor and stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember it from back in the day.
They look more badass when. No, it's kind of. It was a bit of an obscurity.
Yeah.
I think it was more people knew of stuff from Capcom, stuff like Magic Sword, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, they released it. I think originally, it came to 360 during the arcade stuff going on there. And I was like, yes, I remember this. It was awesome.
Yeah, so I'm picking up a few games on there. I had all that. Like I say, I did have all these down on my Xbox. I was sort of buying stuff that I've already frigging paid for.
Yeah.
For a different console.
But you haven't got the trophies for it.
No, but so it's good trying to just sort of playing them again and getting trophies. But while they're on sale, I'm going to pick up a few more, I think, just to get me arcade, build up a few more games in the arcade.
Nice.
Do you remember the disappointment of, what was that arcade thing on Xbox?
Yeah, that was a
really
big
good idea, and we was like, this is going to be excellent, and then you go in there and it's like fucking Horace Goes Skiing,
yes,
Rex, Worm,
real the old shitty Atari stuff,
really old asteroids, no, I wanted stuff like Turtles and Simpsons, R-Type and stuff, but we never really got those type of games.
No, I remember that, because your avatar could walk around, couldn't it, and go into different. It was so, like you say, the premise was excellent. They just never really implemented it very well, did they? And the games, like you say, were just basically shit Atari
really,
games.
really old ones, yeah.
Yeah, the late 70s fucking stuff.
Yeah. It's like, where's all my classic arcade games? Where's Smash TV, you fucker?
Yeah.
That could have been amazing, but obviously they would have had to have made a load of deals and stuff with the different companies, and obviously we know people like Capcom, Konami, etc. are super protective of all their IPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose this is the nearest thing you can get to it, really, isn't it? Where you can move your cabinets and you can change your sizes, but you can't really walk around and do anything. But this is the closest thing I think you can get to it. But yeah, having good fun on that. But yeah, and I think that's about it, really. Like I say, I'm looking forward to getting on Stellar Blade because I played the 2 hour. That's one of the only games I've played the full 2 hour demo on.
Do you
And
unlock trials on that? Trophies, sorry, on the trial?
I've got a few trophies, so I'm hoping when I put it in, it remembers where I was. So
Yeah,
I don't want to do
it should do, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Nice.
I'm looking forward to playing that. But yeah, so that and Death Stranding 2 are my 2 games I'll be concentrating on for the next couple of weeks. And then, like I say, hopefully Cronos and Metal Gear and Hell is Us, even Borderlands. All 4 of them I'm interested in.
Oh,
But I'm just hoping. I like the Borderlands games.
Yeah, I like the gameplay of them and stuff.
Yeah.
They're generally fun. It's the storyline and the characters that are great. But that's kind of just I've known that in the Borderlands games for years. Like Borderlands 1 still has the best story. And all the story was open the vault. That was it.
Yeah, and I did the Tiny Tina game as well.
Oh, right, which one's that? The Wonderlands one?
Yeah, Wonderlands.
Yeah, that was okay. Again, like some of the characters in it are great, and other ones are just like, oh dear.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. You got to look past some of the wokey stuff that they chisel in.
That's not happening in my brain, mate.
It happens in a lot of games nowadays, so not what you can do about it.
That's all you played,
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all I've played. Yeah.
Anything else from you, Nick?
No, just a bit of Mario Kart multiplayer. That's it.
What about you, Darren?
I'll gun through some of the stuff. Before, obviously, the influx of the week of the games turning up, I think I read last week that there was an update for No Man's Sky.
Yes.
And it added, from what some bloke was saying, for the first time, PSSR capabilities with the VR2 headset with that game. And I think it's the first game that actually has utilised PSSR for the VR headset, as it were. And I never played No Man's Sky. I never got into it or got it. And then while I was talking to my mate at work, he was sort of saying, like, oh, I'll play that, it's really good and everything, you might have a bit of fun with it. And he was like, oh, have a look, it's probably reasonably cheap. And then when I went on Amazon, it was like 15 quid or something. So I was like, I can't not buy it.
Fair dues.
So yeah, I've stuck it on. Again, that game's like, what, 25 gig or something? And it's had like 9 years of content. I think next year is going to be its 10th anniversary.
Wow.
Because obviously it's a famous story of a game that launched like shit.
No Man's Lie, I still call it that now.
It came out like really buggered and gave us some pretty hilarious videos on the internet on its launch, etc. And I played it for a few hours earlier this week. I've sort of started the normal game because you've got all these different expansions and things now. There's like a free mode, there's survival mode, there's like modes because they've added multiplayer to it and stuff as well now. There's like a third person view. I believe it was just like first person when game first came out. Mucked around with it in the standard, got to the second planet, I think it is, because it's very much a sort of like explore and collect and build game where you're sort of micromanaging stuff, because the first planet you get dumped in on is like covered in caustic, like toxins that are constantly eating away at your suit. So you have to use your mining tool to get certain elements to repair your suit constantly before it cuts into your life support. Once I got to the second planet, I thought, screw it, I'm going to whack on the old VR and see what it's like in VR. And it is very nice in VR, I will say. It does look really good. So if anyone has obviously VR2 and No Man's Sky and hasn't tried that out, definitely if you've got a Pro, just have a look at it to see how you think it compares to what it was before, because it does look very crisp and sharp, I will say. Not super sharp, because nothing in VR kind of has got to that point yet. But it still did look pretty damn impressive for a VR title. Also, this week we got the second half of the season update for First Descendant.
Okay, yeah.
Which added like a husky dog, which basically goes with the Golden Retriever and the German Shepherd. Each one does different things. I can't remember what the German Shepherd's actual original thing was, but I know the Golden Retriever brings you ammo, and this new sort of Husky basically brings you magic, like MP stuff to regen your MP. But again, I find ammo more of an issue, so I've stuck with the Golden Retriever. You farm both of the blueprints and stuff for the character and the dog in the new Axion Field Zone. Which I've been doing a fair bit this week to obviously grind out those. Got the dog pretty quickly, and I've only just started upgrading or crafting Luna today, the ultimate Luna character. I actually find it hilarious that in a game that's free to play, I have been picking up materials for crafting, like characters and stuff in it, a lot more than another game I'll talk about in a minute, which is actually a paid game, which I literally did something for about 3 hours, got really pissed off and turned it off. So yeah, that's good. The Ultimate Luna stuff is on the go. Did the Wall Crasher boss finally. That's reasonably okay, actually. It's not as painful as some of the other bosses that you've had to fight. You go into it with like 8 of you, and it's like twice the size, and you fight it for about 5 to 10 minutes or so, I'd say, before it takes out. But unfortunately, you don't get really great loot for killing it, I will say. Like, you definitely don't get any blueprint pieces for the new 2 things that were added anyway. Space Marine 2 also got an update this week.
Oh, it did, didn't it? Yes.
Yes, which added a fair bit, actually, to be honest. So it added a brand new PvE map that we tried doing on Ruthless straight away, and we got to the final boss and got absolutely destroyed. Because it was like we was hardly doing any damage to it. We don't know if we were shooting it in the right place or something. It's basically a chaos-themed mission. And you now have new chaos monsters in it that are kind of like chaos spawn.
Okay.
That look like a cross between humanoids and like hellhounds with like big flailing arms and stuff. And they attack in like bunches as well and take quite a lot of shit to take down. But one of the more interesting things that they added to the game is something called stratagems, which is basically mutations from other games, where it's like you'll have weekly ones and like general ones. And by completing certain maps on certain difficulties with mutators on, you unlock a new type of credit, which you can then use to purchase heroic weapons, which is like a brand new class of weapon they've added to the game, and like special like armor pieces and stuff as well that don't actually do anything to your stats. So I wouldn't waste my money on those as of yet, not until after you've got the weapons, because the weapons actually do new effects for when you have them equipped. So we did one of them, which I can't remember the map, but you could only see 30 feet in front of you. for the whole game, and I was running as a sniper during then, and I was like, why have I done this? That's stupid, like, because I can't see shit to like shoot. And also we were constantly being pursued by a lictor, I think it is, you know, the ones that just pounce on you all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, an invincible one that's just on you non-stop. Like, you do a little bit of damage to it and it buggers off for like maybe a minute and a half, and then it comes back again, like throughout the whole level. But it was decent because we got 150 of these requisition points, and it's like 300 for a weapon, so we was pretty close. And the other ones that were there were only giving like 5 or 10, I think. So it's better to do the weeklies. But also, we think because the game was obviously only rendering the world like X amount of feet in front of us, when we were actually getting waves of enemies attacking us, it seemed way more than normal.
Okay.
And I said to my mate, I said, do you reckon they've given us more enemies because like the game doesn't have to use as much grunt work to put as many things on screen because we can't see shit? And he was like, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Because we were sort of like in a like what would be known as a massive wave, but it was just a normal wave. But there was just like so many enemies, like 8, 9, 10 mediums, countless small ones, extremists spawning, that poxy frickin' invincible lictor flapping about. Proper edge of the seat, like most of the way through it, which is something that game's always generally good at. You can have a run that starts off horrendous and you end up doing really well, or you could have a run that goes really well and just crumbles to ash and you're like in the jaws of victory kind of thing.
Nice.
So there was that. That's really worth checking out and updating. And they've just started going into a second-year roadmap, so they've added like new cosmetic packs and I think a new season pass for new champions. You can also now equip champion and champion pack gear onto, I think, any class. So before you could have like the Space Wolves special outfit and helmet and stuff, and you could only use it as the Vanguard. But now you can actually equip that gear to another class.
All the DLC that they put out for this game is purely just cosmetics, isn't it? That's all it is.
Yes. Yeah. If you're super into your Warhammer, though, like one of my friends is, like he loves all the cosmetics in it because it's all super important to the lore and everything.
Right. Okay.
Apart from, I think the only one he groaned about was, I think, the Salamander's champion, which was like a sniper, and he was like, that doesn't make any sense, like that being a salamander. I was like, not too sure what you're on about, but there we go. So it's good that game's constantly getting support. I think it will possibly get support for all of, obviously, Season 2, and then it will start leading into what will be the third game, because I think this has been, like, really successful for them.
Nice.
And the third one, the other game, was like got an update this week as well. On Tuesday was Final Fantasy XIV, got a new update, which added like the second step to the relic weapons from this patch, and added a new cosmic exploration area. I mean, I tried out the cosmic exploration in the first area, and it was kind of like mini fates for gatherers and crafters and stuff with time limits and stuff, and I was just like, no, not really enjoying that particularly per se. And you're kind of constantly having to travel about and do sort of different bits and bobs. I was just like, not super interesting. But what I thought I would do was, I didn't actually start the first step of the relic grind for the new relic. So I was like, screw it, I'll start that off and see what it's like. So what you've got to do is, I don't know whether you remember this, Webby, in like the 2.1 or the 2.0 era, like they had a relic mission that was brought in and you had to go around collecting atmas from fates.
Oh,
so it basically means
it's been a long time.
You used to do like constant fates in zones, and there was like a certain percentage chance that you'll get one of these atmas at the end of it, and you had to collect X amount from each zone.
Right.
and then present them to someone else. And in this one, it's like, right, we want you to get 3 demi-atma from each zone. So there's 6 zones, so you need, 18 of these demi-atmas. And after 3.5 to 4 hours of fucking grinding fates, I have 1. And I was just like, you know what? I've got other things I could be doing and other fucking games I want to play. Fuck this. Because, like, I literally, it's fun being in an area where you're in a, like, doing fates with other people. But it's just kind of locusty, where you've got everyone just rushing to a fate, rolling over it. Like in seconds, you're trying to get like contribution stuff in, so you actually get something for finishing the fight. Because unless you get a gold rating, you're getting nothing anyway, really. And while you're doing it, you're basically earning. I can't remember what they're bloody called. Like there's this currency you get from fates. But yeah, I capped that out. And they're like, oh, it's all right, you can go and buy some items with it. And it's like, you go to the items that you can buy and they're just shite, utter shite. Like skins, like animal skins from the animals that you just kill in the zone that are worth like nothing on the market board. So it's just like, this is pointless. So it just literally felt like I'm not getting anything from doing these. Because once you've reached the fate level in that area and unlocked and done all the fates, you're literally getting nothing for doing these apart from hoping to get atmas. And when you haven't had one for like 3 fucking hours, it's like, why am I even bothering with this when I could be playing Hell Is Us or Cronos or something, anything else?
Yeah.
Like even in like say for First Descendant, a free-to-play game, you're still getting modules, cash, Kunipa, other materials that are all useful to your character while you're grinding stuff out. So even while you're not getting stuff, you're still getting a multitude of other shit that's useful to you in a free-to-play. And you've got this in a paid monthly subscription game where you're just literally at the point where you're like, the only thing you want and need are the atmas, and it doesn't give you them. Like, I can understand them not being like super constant, but you've got to respect the player's time. Like, time is a finite sort of period that people have to actually play and enjoy themselves. At least have some sort of pity system where it's like, all right, if you haven't had an atma in, say, 15 fates, which is going to be a long old time anyway to knock that out, we'll give you one. So at least you're like still progressing and you feel like you're progressing in the zone, whereas you could be sat there for fucking 2 or 3 times the amount of time that I was playing it and still not have anything you need. And that to me, I think, is a bit of an insult when you're kind of like, you're not in a free-to-play game to try and grind. And I get that they shouldn't give stuff away for free, but there's to the point of like, if you're looking at maybe grinding 50, 60 plus hours to get stuff for a weapon, is it worth it? No, it's not. Especially if you're getting nothing else of value out of it apart from the items you need for that weapon.
There we go.
So yeah, that kind of bummed me out a fair bit, and I've just been sort of logging in each day and just basically watch it. And
I don't know why you bother even logging in every day if it seems to be pointless, mate.
So I'm getting money, I'm earning a lot of money and stuff, which does help when you're buying the mounts and other things off the market board. And I am earning stuff for the rest of it. It's just like if I was doing that stuff for the fates and stuff, I'm not getting anything. So I'm just logging in, doing like half an hour of stuff that's actually worthwhile, and then just logging out. And it seems most other people seem to be doing similar things as well, because there's hardly anyone from the free company on whenever I log in at the moment. And there was like a huge controversy last week, I think it was, which I briefly talked about in the group. So there was apparently one of the community managers was pissing people off Because I don't know if you've seen any of the live broadcasts and that recently of any of the things. Yeah, so basically it was about a couple of years ago, someone came out on stage and instantly my alarm bells were like, oh, fuck, have they been infiltrated?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
And then they seemed really cool and normal and everything, and I was like, oh, that's good. They're not actually how they look. They actually must be a normal person that just wants to work at a video game company. Turns out, no, they were exactly how they fucking looked. They were a screeching activist type that got TDS and has been spewing off on the forums and having a pop at players, moaning about stuff. So there was all of that got a load of people pissed off, and she's like one of the localization people. Because apparently the main localizer before was like Christopher Koji Fox. But then she's kind of been coming in underneath, and a lot of people are thinking some of the changes and dialogue choices and stuff is down to her. And that's obviously been getting people off on one as well. Plus there was a mod for the game that was hugely popular that Square Enix just flat out banned. So it was one of those mods where it completely changed, like you can completely change your character's appearance.
Okay.
And it's one of those ones that's reasonably good because only people that are using that mod tool or the actual player themselves that's using the mod will actually see that appearance. Everyone else will just see their general character model as they would be. Obviously, a lot of people were making degenerate shite for it, as you'd expect, because that is like with mods, it's 50% useful gameplay stuff, and a lot of it is the rest of it is just degeneracy. Basically, Square Enix got wind of it and basically sort of said nope, and completely locked that mod tool off, causing like a lot of the community to have a complete fit.
Nope, not surprised.
But yeah, again, loads of people sort of blaming even people for using the mod because apparently everyone was like shouting out the mod and where to get it from and stuff.
Yeah.
Which generally doesn't help.
No.
Because it brings attention to it, and then shock horror, it all got shut down. So yeah, that's it. That's me done.
I only have a couple of bits of news. One of them's the first one's a bit of a weird one, actually. Kind of wanted you guys' input on this. PlayStation 5, the digital edition. Apparently, it's now coming with a smaller hard drive, but the price is staying the same. So they're shrinking the hard drive from 1 terabyte to 825 gig.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Because it's like, I think this is the first generation I've seen where consoles have, one, got more expensive part way through the generation, and now they're cost cutting in other ways, like shrinking the hard drives. And I put this news out on the Discord this week, and people were saying, well, didn't the PlayStation 5 originally come with an 825 gig hard drive?
Yeah, that's
and then they upped it to 1 terabyte, and then they've dropped it down again.
Oh, right.
I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah, because I was pretty sure that I never had a full 1 terabyte back when I first got one.
I'm not, because I'm sure. Well, see, I'm sure that they all launched with a 1 terabyte drive, but that's never the usable amount, is it? Usually,
no.
They keep about 100 gig back for OS or whatever. So I'm a little bit unsure on how big the original hard drive was when it launched. Yeah, and I actually have a launched PS5.
It might even be a supply issue. Like if they were, if they started at this sort of size, they might have gone to a different supplier for the other ones, and now they're no longer supplying them with that, so they've had to go back to the previous.
Right, okay, I've just done a little Google. So when the PS5 launched, it came with an 825 gig SSD. However, a portion was used buy the system, so you would have you'd only have 667 gig usable. So I'm guessing partway through the generation they upped them all to 1 terabyte. But obviously now, just for that the PS5 digital, they've shrunk it back down again. But perhaps they had a load of old stock or something. I don't know. It just seems a bit odd that PlayStation are doing this. One, they've raised prices across the board, and now they're shrinking the hard drive for the systems as well.
It might be cost cutting.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's weird. Like, if you actually hear statistics of, like, a lot of people who actually buy these consoles don't buy a lot of games. We're kind of an anomaly.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, there's a lot of people out there that just buy them, and they'll just buy, like we said before, like your FIFA or your COD each year, and maybe a Fortnite on there and something else, and that's about it. Just the games they play with their friends, and they might dip in and out of the odd single player here and there. So they're never really too fussed about having, like, a huge hard drive anyway.
Yeah, and I did actually, like, just saying that, you've just reminded me, I watched a YouTube video this week. I'll try and find it again later. Just talking about how the stats have come out about how demographics of gamers have changed.
Oh, is this the Gamers Are Dying Out video?
Yeah.
Bellular? Was it Bellular's video?
Yeah, so I think it's something like it. Definitely was called that. That was the title, and it was basically how youngsters or the demographic now has changed, where gamers are now seeing the game as, you know, instead of us having a console and having all the games, they're now seeing the game as the system, if that makes sense. Like Fortnite is multiple games in one, as a prime example, and Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox, yeah.
Because Roblox is actually the most popular game in the whole world, which is staggering to me.
Even stuff like Hitman, you can create your own missions in that, can't you, as well?
So saying, like, the average gamer now only buys 1 or 2 games a year. So yeah, you're probably spot on there with the disk drive, with the hard drive space thing there, Darren. Yeah.
Because they'll know, like, someone who does buy a lot of games will probably end up buying a separate external or internal drive for it anyway at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a lot of games, you almost can't not do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're constantly uninstalling and reinstalling stuff time and time again. And now we're, like, full on in the age of DLC. That's far more annoying than it used to be.
Yeah. So us old school gamers that buy loads of different games, we're a dying breed, apparently. Kids are just happy to play Roblox and get groomed on there, playing all the different games that they're playing. What a time to be alive.
Did any of you guys watch the 007 State of Play this week?
Yes.
It was kind of a stealth drop.
Yes. Looks quite good.
What did you think? It looked okay. It definitely has the Hitman DNA in there.
Oh, this is the first thing I said, yeah.
But obviously it's made by the same studio, IOI. But a lot of it did remind me of Uncharted as well, like with the set pieces.
Yeah, and the sneaking under the window ledges and things as well, yeah. It looks like a very early bid. It looked quite janky to me, like the driving sections and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's next year, isn't it? It's still a ways off, I'd say, maybe about a year or just under.
Yeah. But it looks decent for what it is, though.
I did find it amusing how many explosive canisters were dotted everywhere, to the point where I don't think I even saw a scene where there wasn't any.
Yeah.
Like, there's one bit he's fighting through a lab, and I'm pretty sure I saw an unexploded canister under a microscope of all places.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you have that there in a lab, explosive canisters and stuff?
Gaming trope, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it was just almost taking it to 11.
I'll be interested to see what the full game's like, because obviously we've only had a sneak peek on this with that state of play, and it looked good from what I saw, to be honest. But I've picked up a few things from what I've read online since and stuff, and it's tapered my excitement a little bit. It's just kind of it might have some remnants of some wokey stuff in it, but I'm holding back on that. Oh. That might be hearsay or whatever, or people trying to get clicks or whatever, so I'm holding back some excitement. But from what they showed, it looks like the graphics look good, the gameplay looks fun, but it is from what I saw, like a lot of the sections to me just looked like Hitman reskinned.
It'll be interesting to see what the actual game's like when it fully comes out. Because even during like some of the actiony parts, there were different divergent paths you could actually take depending on how you approached each part.
Yeah.
Which is kind of good, and it mixes things up on the fly as well.
Yeah. No, it looks like initial impressions from what they showed. It looks pretty decent, man. Just it looks like a mishmash of games, like especially got the Hitman DNA in there massively with
definitely
with the walking around and the sneaking and stuff like that. And but it has like a lot of like it looks like it's got, they say with the Uncharted stuff, like the action sequences and things as well. So
maybe their pitch was basically like, we can do like Uncharted, but like a Hitman spy version.
Yeah.
Whereas instead of running around solving puzzles in the certain sections that aren't combat in Uncharted, we'll have you doing detective stuff instead.
Yeah.
And sneaking about.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks quite interesting, mate. And my last bit of news. It's not really news. It's just Game Pass. What's coming to Game Pass? We've already got Hollow Knight on there, but a game that I was close to buying a little while ago, and I don't think the game's even been out that long, is coming to Game Pass in a couple of weeks. Roadcraft, which looks quite good. So, looking forward to that.
Oh, I saw another, while we're speaking about road stuff, you know, we commented on, I think it was during the, what's the award show that's just gone? Or not the award show, sorry.
Gamescom.
Gamescom, that was it. Yeah, didn't they announce, like, Saber Interactive were doing, like, a trucks, not necessarily a truck sim, but, like, where you were delivering stuff during disasters and stuff?
Yeah.
They're doing another one, like a bus one.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Where you're, like, driving a bus around the town that dynamically changes and stuff.
Okay.
Managing passengers and routes and obviously making sure you don't cause any accidents, etc., and things like that. So they're on a bit of a roll, Saber.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got a lot of games coming out. It's almost like you've got as many games coming out from Saber as like you used to get from like a Ubisoft or an EA.
Okay.
Where they'll have like a bunch of games in the works rather than just like one or two. Because they've got that Toxic Commando. They're working on the Turok game as well. Obviously, Space Marine's still on the go. They're still doing stuff, I believe, for World War Z, which was a fun game.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man. They're just reusing that engine, I think, for a lot of different games. It seems to be working.
Oh, the Swarm engine, yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, that's all my news anyway. There wasn't a lot this week that I could find, so unless there's anything else, guys, I think that's it. And Nick can go to bed.
No, I just had a quick bit of news, which I don't know if you saw, the Nintendo with these game key cards things where Ubisoft, you know that Star Wars game, The Outlaws?
Oh, yes.
Coming out on Switch too. Well, they're gone game key card and all that, and they've actually come out and said that we're not doing that for money-wise. It's because the write speeds from the cards are a lot slower than if it's internal or on the SD card. So they said they couldn't get the game to run if they put it on a full cartridge anyway, because the carts are actually crap and a lot slower compared to internal. Which I thought, could that get any more weird and complicated?
Jesus.
Because I remember seeing a few comparison videos, like even with like Mario on the cartridge, Mario Kart on just the console or on the SD card, and the card, if you're playing it off the cartridge, it's like you're talking like half a second slower, like loading times and stuff like that. But I don't know, it's just a weird thing that these companies are coming out and saying. And I think CD Projekt Red come out and said something sarky. It was like, well, we got our game to work the same. So I don't know if it's 100% true or just developers trying to justify, because they said it wasn't cost cut and they said it was performance, and another company said no, it is cost cutting. So it's just weird, isn't it?
Nintendo's gone down a strange path with these cartridges, and
so they've tried to.
Well, they're not actually using them themselves. That's the thing that's kind of amusing.
Yeah, they're only using the full ones, but then they don't charge themselves for the cartridges, do they? If you see what I mean. I don't think they, I think if it's only them, whether they get them cheaper, I don't know. So it seems like a typical case of they've tried to please everyone and haven't, and has pissed everyone off to a certain point. Because if you look online, the game keycard games that came out around launch, they're dropping so much in price. The Bravely Default Fairy remake thing, it's down to 18 quid from 35, 40 quid.
Mm-hmm.
They're just selling really poorly. They're trying to get rid of them. So, well, that's just a weird thing. I just think, everything, they just want to go all digital, don't they?
Yeah. Make that money, that digital money.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, guys, I think we're going to end it here. It's been awesome. Thank you very much for coming on, everybody. So all of us here, it's been awesome. We will see you next week. Goodbye.